running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0823.
Mojo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. The mothership has landed.
Even Chewy's happy about it being Friday. Remember when it was Tuesday and I thought it was Friday?
Yep.
It's really Friday now. At least I hope so.
Yes, it is.
Everybody deep breath and sing it. You're a little late on that.
Good loving.
That's right. I got it. What you got? Don't worry, baby.
I'm a soul man.
I think we did good. We only did like 3 separate keys in that one.
I think we ought to do Earworm Fridays too.
Yeah, that one will that will stick with you. This has been a long week. They're all long weeks, but I did note yesterday. What is it? Next week we're at basically the end of June, so we're almost halfway through.
I think we got one more week after.
Well, that's almost all the way through.
Almost the week.
So hell, we're almost done with 2019.
Today is the 14th, so we've got another half a month.
Yeah, we're almost there. Let's wish the rest of it away. We'll start with some good news. Well, it's bad news if you were hoping for another Mamma Mia movie. Bjorn of ABBA was on, I think it was Good Morning Britain, and here's what he had to say.
With the idea that there could be another Mamma Mia film, Mamma Mia 3.
No plans for that.
That's not yet.
Rumors.
Yeah.
No plans.
I want to take this full screen there, Ron.
Holographic tour, because that was something that was in the pipeline.
No.
No.
Holograms.
Oh, goodness.
There will be something else, digital copies of ourselves, which will be presented later.
That's kind of cool.
Digital copy of yourself.
Yeah.
So the 4 of you as you were, but doing new music or doing old music?
Both.
So there is some new music coming.
There is some new
So they're going to do
there it is.
avatars.
There is going to be new ABBA music. That is the takeaway from the interview there.
Sorry.
There's a new ABBA album. What? You don't like ABBA?
What is it you say? If you don't like ABBA, you're gay.
Yes. You don't. How can you not like ABBA?
I'm not gay, but I'm not an ABBA fan. I just never was.
Wow.
Did you see Mamma Mia?
You are such a Yeah, I've seen both of them.
Both of them? Mm.
They're good movies. But the ABBA, how can you? I mean, hell, rock and rollers love ABBA.
Okay.
Death metalists love ABBA. Nobody doesn't like ABBA.
I wouldn't push it that far.
Oh, I would. I just read an interview with some. Oh God, what was the guy? He was like, what did he say? I worship at the altar of Metallica and all of these other bands. He says, but ABBA rocks. I mean, they were just an incredible group. Of course, this does come from Bjorn Ulvaeus, and he was the member of ABBA who had I think he had dementia last few years. He says he couldn't remember any of even the highlights of ABBA's career.
Really?
Yeah. So hopefully he's remembering this correctly. But, ABBA changed really everything. They were one time Sweden's #1 export. I mean, they're incredible. So we got a new ABBA album coming in November.
A new ABBA album?
A new ABBA album. So I just wanted to start with some good news before I played this, because I saw this as I was leaving yesterday. Nancy Pelosi was on television saying
The
this.
President gave us once again evidence that he does not know right from wrong. It's a very sad thing that he does not know right from wrong. For the president to be so cavalier, to disregard, to be indifferent to law and any sense.
Is it wrong to want to see a giant grizzly bear just hop into the frame and eat her?
Slap the crap out of her?
No, just eat her. Just bite her head off and just swallow it. Is that wrong? I mean,
of ethics about who we are as a country to say he would invite foreign intervention further. The intelligence community.
That's not what he said.
With great confidence has put forth that the Russians interfered in our election. That
might want to try a little extra polygrip.
Look at that face.
Yeah, that's a face only a grizzly bear could love. She really, you know what? From that angle, and looking like she does look a little like Witchy Poo, or possibly the Wicked Witch of the West.
From Puffin Stuff?
Yeah.
Oh wow, God dog, I haven't seen that in years.
You're welcome. Oh, you didn't like ABBA, but you liked HR Puffin stuff. You druggy. Puffin stuff.
Yeah, because that was like a total trip.
By the way, they swore not Seals and Crofts. Crofts. Anyway, the producers swore that no, not a drug reference. Come on, they lived in Lidsville. HR Puffin stuff. Come on. Anyway, no, Nancy
Puffin stuff.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi looks for her.
Sid and Marty Krofft.
That's it.
Yeah.
For her to come out and I know it's the game of politics. I get that, but for some reason, this woman just grates on my last nerve because I think I was married to it. I think that's what it was. It's it's the phony smile. It's the
which is that right there.
It's this phony, it's the smile where you look through it and you just look at somebody and go, Ron, I'd really like to stab you in the eye.
Damn it, Brad, I just realized I get that smile from you every day.
Yes. Now you know what it is. I learned from some of the best. It's the phony smile. It's the they're lying to your face, but they're smiling while they're doing it. So it's got to be okay.
Doesn't every attorney in the world do that?
Some of them do. A lot of them do. I dislike attorneys for other reasons, but she just irritates the crap out of me because she gets up there and she tries to be holier than thou. And then here's a woman who says the president doesn't know right. And I'm not defending. She could be saying this about anybody, and it just irritates me because
it's coming out of her mouth.
The woman who, what did she say about Gruber? Remember Gruber, the consultant who on Obamacare?
He's not even advocating the position that he does. He's not even advocating the position that he was at some conference and said. So I don't know who he is. He didn't help write our bill.
Which later we found out, of course, Jonathan Gruber did write the bill. And then, of course, she is singing his praises. I think this is actually prior to when she said she doesn't know who he is. She said this.
And I wanted to get your comment on the bill and specifically on the CBO analysis that it would cost significantly less than the Democratic plan and that it would lower premiums.
Let me just say this about it. Anything you need to know about the difference between the Democratic bill and the Republican bill is that the Republicans do not end health insurance companies' discrimination against people with pre-existing conditions. Let that stand. That's scandalous. The fact that it exists.
Nancy Pelosi talking about health insurance being scandalous.
I don't understand why they have not heard the American people who have said pre-existing conditions should not be a source of discrimination. And secondly, the Republican plan insures about 3 million more people than now, and ours does 36 million people. Mm-hmm. So that's a very big difference in that. We're not finished. Excuse me. I'm sorry. We're not finished getting all of our reports back from CBO, but we'll have a side by side to compare but our bill brings down rates. I don't know if you have seen Jonathan Gruber of MIT's analysis of the what the.
Wait a minute! I thought she didn't know who it was.
That's what she said.
Thought she didn't know who he was. Of course she knows and knew who he was. But of course, you know, it's Nancy likes to quote scripture too on occasion. Remember when she said she was talking to the presidents of Christian colleges, and this is back in 20. It's been back a while, and she quoted from the Bible. Can't find it in the Bible, but I quote it all the time. I keep reading and reading the Bible. I know it's there someplace. It's supposed to be in Isaiah. I heard a bishop say to minister to the needs of God's creation. Basically saying that we need to let the illegal aliens in. Take care of people that way. You know,
I don't recall that.
She couldn't remember exactly where it was, but well, it's I mean, Nancy, in Proverbs 12:22, it says, "Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight." I'll just leave that right there because we are all sinners, and
yeah, we are.
We are all equal in the eyes of the Lord, and each one of us is screwed up in our own unique and individual ways. And you, my friend, are the woman who has to stare at yourself in the mirror every day. I don't know how you do it. I have trouble looking at myself in the mirror sometimes.
especially if I'm on a profile view.
Right, exactly. So, and I tend to think I don't spew the lies that Nancy Pelosi does. So I just, good luck to you and sleep. She probably does sleep well at night.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
I think she probably, I don't know how, but I couldn't do that.
Nope. Hey, our buddy Douglas Boatwright said, "So excited. I got to use douche canoe on a coworker just now. Hashtag probably seeking new employment."
Technically, all right. So technically, douching is just cleaning.
Yes, it is.
So you're just cleaning
your canoe. That's right. Go clean your canoe.
Which still sounds a little. But you know what?
I guess it depends on who you say that.
Here's the thing: if you get called to HR, that's what you do. Look, I like boats. I told him he's a clean boat. You are a douche canoe. It's the fact that marketing.
You think they'll believe that?
It doesn't matter. He can identify as somebody who's truthful.
Oh!
There you go.
I love that, Brad.
You know, they've created the society.
That's what Nancy Pelosi's doing.
Yes,
trying to identify someone who's truthful.
Yes, she is. Not very well, but she's trying. Larky F. and Farkin, I might have heard an ABBA song at some point in my life, but I've never listened to one song.
Thank you.
He didn't say he didn't like it. He says he's just never listened to one song. All right, Larky Farkin, go out there and just listen to a few. Go listen to SOS. They knew how to craft songs that were catchy as hell. I mean, they whatever formula it was that they used, and there's a documentary on ABBA on Netflix. Well, we'll get to that later. But there is the story of them and how they would write and come up with the music. It's there's a little cabin out on the lake, and hell, I don't know what they did out there to get the inspiration and
smoking it,
whatever. But they just came out with some of the catchy. I don't think I've ever heard a bad ABBA song. I'll go that far. I can't think of one that I went, ugh, well, that thing sucked. Because generally you buy an album of, I said album. You buy an album and you buy it for the group's like one big hit song. You might find one other song, but then you got like 9.
Yep.
With the exception of Fleetwood Mac Rumors and Hotel California. But,
and then iTunes blew that out of the water.
Yeah.
Because then you could just buy the song.
A la carte.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally in the beginning, you were buying an entire album if you didn't buy the 45, and you were getting 2 good songs maybe and 9. And now it's a little different landscape. But ABBA,
why did they always back a 45 with something that wasn't hot? Because they could sell more?
Well, they didn't. Well, first of all, they didn't know if it was going to be hot or not. They just thought that, I would imagine that they thought, all right, this song right here is real catchy. We think this is going to be the most successful. And I would imagine they thought that the one on the B side was going to be the second most successful. That would make sense. Why would you say I'm going to put the crap track on? I'm going to here's our best song. And by the way, if you want to hear what we sound like at our worst,
here's a chart topper, and here's one that's not.
But
I could see that they would want to sell more 45s like that.
Why would you want to put out your bad? I would have thought it would be like their second best.
Why would you think that any song on your album is bad? Right?
Oh, I think when you get done as an artist, I think that when you've put together an album, you go, I really like this one. This one's, it's not our best work. It's not our worst work. I can see as an artist.
Could the B-side be the one that they're trying to prop up the next? Well,
that's
be the next hit.
That's what I said. I think that's probably the one that would be in their mind anyway. The one
can't say that happened very often.
No, it really didn't. No, you're right. It really didn't. But then I don't know how many on any given album, how many 45s were released from one album.
It's like you and I just lost all the Gen Zers and half the millennials who probably do not know what the hell a 45 is.
Yeah, well, you know what? Stick around. The youth of America need to learn some stuff. Thank you, Stinky. Take a chance. Take a chance. Take a chance.
There you go.
You've never heard that song, have you?
Yeah, I've heard the song.
It's a great song. And it's can't stand. Josh Kemp says can't stand ABBA and love rock and metal. Josh Kemp obviously is a communist and a serial killer. So the police
sure
are coming for you
that.
right now, Josh. They're on their way. Chai Boy in Iowa. I think that it's the gin that helps Nancy Pelosi sleep at night. Probably, it's certainly loosening up her polygrip. Because
somebody's got a meme out there with her teeth coming out. Have you seen that?
No,
it's funny.
Do they slip out?
She's talking and her falsies fall out.
Well, I'm not sure I'd call them falsies because that leaves another
falsies.
I know what you said, but falsies are something different.
Okay.
I don't know why you'd be thinking about those. Okay, so I want to show you this picture. There it is. And I want you to take a look at this thing because these. All right, take a look. If you're watching it right now, we're on Facebook.
Is that on my face?
No.
Okay.
That's in your gut.
Okay.
This thing looks like a nightmare from hell. It's got 6 legs and then this like giraffe neck and then a
bulbous head.
Oh, with what look like spikes coming out of it. It is horrendous looking, and we have those in our guts. Oh,
it looks like it's standing on the surface of Mars, but that's probably my gut.
That's part of your gut in there. I mean, if we could see what's living inside us, the gut, and you know what? Even the good stuff, and I don't know if this thing's good or bad. It's just in there. Yeah, and that right there proves why why UFOs will never land on the front lawn of the White House, because we're afraid of things we don't understand. But even if you don't understand it, if you go to lovemytummy.com/mojo, that's where you find Autron Teal. And whether it helps get rid of those things or help, and I don't know if those are the good or the bad guys. That's the real problem. You can't tell by looking at them if they're the good or the bad guys. But if you're dealing with bloating or abdominal discomfort, Autron Teal might be for you. Go to lovemytummy.com/mojo and find out if in fact it'll help it'll cure what's ailing you. Lovemytummy.com/mojo. So maybe, okay, and I hadn't thought of this theory, but maybe when Nancy Pelosi said that yesterday, that the president doesn't know the right from wrong, maybe that wasn't even her.
That's correct. They're getting better with this stuff.
It's still not quite there.
It's not quite there, but I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of people out there who believe this crap.
Well, yeah.
Who watch it and believe that that's real.
Well, it's people like Josh Kemp who don't like ABBA. These deep fakes are...
Deep fakes are crazy.
They're almost there.
It's not going to be long, Brad. It's not going to be long. These things, for this type of stuff to be available out there, I mean, before long, you won't have paid actors doing movies anymore.
No. And, that could be good. That could be bad. But certainly when it comes to politics, it's scary as hell. And crime. And when you have trials, when you have evidence in a courtroom, you have video evidence of Bob killing the, he killed the secretary. It's right there. You got him on the right. He's putting the letter opener right. Does anybody use letter openers anymore?
Hell no.
Okay. Bob, take the letter opener right off the desk and stuffed it right in Stally's eye.
How long before defense attorneys start going, yeah, that wasn't Bob?
Exactly. Because it might not be
And then
Bob.
they spend half the trial showing them this kind of crap.
Yeah. And this is the deep fake that was created by a couple of artists and I believe it was a marketing company of Mr. Zuckerberg.
Now, they've gotten a cease and desist from...
Yes, they have gotten a cease and desist.
With total control of billions of people's stolen data, all their secrets, their lives, their futures, I owe it all to Spectre.
Which is, of course, he never said that. And he was never sitting at that desk. And those aren't even real people in the background, I don't think.
That's
probably
nuts.
That's probably not even a real office, or it might be. I don't know. Maybe based on a picture. But actually, the guy that just walked in the background looked drunk. But when you look at these deep fake videos, they're impressive. They're impressive to a level. But then there's something about your eye that looks at them and says, "No, that's not quite." It's like It's like Westworld.
It is like Westworld, but Brad, you're looking at it with an eye that has knowledge of that.
I think
the lay person out there is not going to look at this and go, oh, wow, that's fake.
I'd like to apologize to everyone that you just insulted by calling them stupid.
I'm not calling them stupid. I'm telling you, there are people scrolling through this. This was on Instagram, actually.
Right. Yes.
There are people scrolling by this who watch it who have zero idea. There are Obama deep fakes.
Mm-hmm.
There's one. What's the guy's name that was sitting with? I think it was Jimmy Fallon, who they put Schwarzenegger's face on him.
I don't know.
We played that before, I think, on the show. But literally, they show you because it shows the guy talking, and he does an Schwarzenegger impersonation. And when he starts that impersonation, his face morphs into Schwarzenegger's, and dude, it looks real.
I think
as real as it can right now.
It's more effective in short doses.
Probably.
When you have an opportunity to sit there and watch a minute of their facial movements, they just don't have the... and I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if it's just the...
It depends on the content, Brad, because if the content is, quote, compelling, nobody's looking at their facial quirks.
Maybe it's their...
You are. You come from this industry.
Yeah, but it just looks...
Hey, it's better than CGI.
Here, a friend recently said about some people, so-and-so comes through the camera. Bob, on the other hand, bounces off the camera. Meaning that some people, when they look at a camera, they can communicate right to you. You feel like they are on the screen and staring you right in the face, and you're like, oh, he is talking to me. While some people, they look stiff. They just don't. They bounce off the lens of the camera. They don't come all the way through it.
Thanks, Dominic. It was Bill Hader on Conan.
Okay.
That they did that transition into
and it's bizarre.
Schwarzenegger. It's bizarre.
But in this instance with Zuckerberg, his eyes are just dead. He's not coming through the camera to me, at least. And I think that
dude, people don't look at that.
I think they do. I think that's what the difference between...
It's a lot different than Polar Express. You remember that movie?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
that's dead eyes.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's also the difference between... That's why people like some actors and not some other actors, because they come through the screen.
Did you pick it out in Star Wars? The general?
Yes, I knew something wasn't right.
I had no idea. I didn't even know the guy was dead.
I think my initial reaction was, isn't he dead? So there was something wrong with the facial movements.
Right.
But again, remember, that was in short doses. He was on the first clip of him in there was what, maybe a second and a half?
2 or 3 seconds,
if that. And then with Princess Leia, it was the same way.
Oh, now she didn't look good.
No, and even
that you could tell.
Yeah, even the 2 or 3 seconds that was there. But remember, that was, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
So we've had 3 years to advance the technology. And I'm not saying it's...
The Buscemi one is a good one.
Yeah. Well, who they...
Jennifer, what her name is?
Not Beals, the chick that was in Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, yeah.
Yeah, her.
Anyhow,
Have you seen the naked pictures of her, by the way?
No.
Wow.
No, you see how quick I answered? Okay, so,
you
yeah,
should.
no, the Steve Buscemi one was the first deep fake I saw. And that one was
impressive.
If you didn't know he was a dude and she was a woman, that one would have been impressive.
But okay, you see this, but would you, if you were in a courtroom and someone's life depended on it, and you looked at this and this was the evidence?
Okay, now you're scrutinizing
See,
the video,
yes,
and
okay,
that's
which-
fine. But okay, I don't scrutinize every video that comes across Instagram. I'm not thinking about scrutinizing it for that
not
purpose.
the puppy videos, but certainly when it gets, it's that's not a real puppy. That's too small to be a real puppy. But when it comes to really important things and important information, and
besides Zuckerberg just looks weird.
You know what? After this brief break, where I'm sure it's something far more important than this, we'll continue the discussion.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. Mojo 50.
Do you like good coffee? I do. Do you like amazing coffee drops? I do too.
American Pride Roasters, historically great coffee. Did you know if you drink APR coffee or eat APR coffee drops, it will instantly heal any ailment you have?
The legendary Fountain of Youth wasn't just one fountain, but actually many fountains close to each other. Each fountain had a different APR coffee in it instead of water.
Coming soon to APR is Washington, D.C. blend. It is just a bag full of hot air.
APR coffee drops are not just a superfood. They're a super duper ultra mega Doppler food. They are by far the healthiest thing you can eat.
Want to know the secret to what makes APR taste so good? They use the happy tears of unicorns. Go get yours today, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Get yours today.
The Bells of Liberty. 3 sassy conservatarian ladies talking politics.
We know that all you want to do is take guns away from people. Don't be dishonest.
Pop culture.
Valkyrie, she's got a flying horse. She doesn't need Karen and the Karenettes, okay?
And everything in between.
So basically, it's just people, schmucks like us sitting around a room like, you know what we could do? We could basically put up sunglasses around the earth. And that will stop climate change.
Join Rocky, Gina, and me Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern for the That's what she said.
All right, ladies, let's wrap this up. I gotta go work in the morning.
Okay, we gotta do it again because Sammy cut out.
What the?
Wow.
The Daily Mojo.
So who put that one together?
Not me.
That was good. I like that.
It was good. I think Jana does those for them.
I liked it.
That was pretty good.
I liked it. They're on tomorrow
They are on tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern.
Yeah,
That's,
the Bells
what I
of
just
Liberty.
said.
They're,
Yes.
they're funny as hell.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And they're lookers. Except that one.
We'll let them decide.
Deuce 5 just tweeted what I learned today when at Real Ron Phillips talks about Nancy Pelosi's falsies. It's the guy from Team America. Just, wow, losing his lunch everywhere. DMX B-sides were usually extra non-album songs that didn't fit, but were still good for fans. Hits on both sides meant lost revenue.
Lost revenue. That's what I'm thinking. Lost revenue.
But okay, but that still doesn't. Why would they be a non-album song that didn't fit, but were still good for fans? Okay, I see what you're saying. That does make sense. We didn't have room for it on the album, but here it is. It gave it a place.
Yeah, an album had what, 10 tracks on it, maybe?
Ish, yeah, depending on how long.
Yeah, depending on how long it was, and maybe they created 15 songs. So yeah, I got that. I understand that, and the lack of revenue if they put a hit song on both sides.
Well, but that
because they could sell another 45.
Because if it didn't fit, okay. So, let me get this straight. We're going to do 10 songs that we think it's our best work, and we're going to put these 10 songs right here. We think this is the best representation of our work out to the public. And we also did these, which we don't think is a good representation of our work out to the public, but we'll put one of these on the backside. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
I know the logic doesn't fit, but that's what happened.
Maybe that's why they stopped doing it. I don't know. And Smacking Duck, Garth Brooks refused to do go digital with his music for a long time because he looked at full albums as a single work of art. And I agree. Like Hotel California.
Yeah.
You listen to that. The same thing with Rumors. And you...
it's a consistent theme and a story across the entire album.
Yeah. It had a theme to it. And they don't do that anymore. I mean, there are some songs, it's funny. The Cars, too. Although the Cars lyrics were completely nonsensical for the most part. When you listen to one song, even if they just played the one song on the radio, your brain went, okay, the next song I'm going to hear is the next one on the album. And it was always, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. I'm listening to the radio. So, so the deep fake thing is... It's like you said, it's almost there, and I think people tend to see this a little bit more than you do, because I think that it's the human. When you look in somebody's eyes, that's where they have the windows to the soul.
Right. Okay. So find the Buscemi one, Brad, if you've got time. But here's the thing.
I got all the time in the world.
Here's the thing. You know, in your head, in your mind, that Steve Buscemi is not a female. And you know, the thing is it also uses Jennifer's voice.
How do you spell deep fake?
DEEPFAKE. It's one word, though, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
or
I think
is it?
So. There it is.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Lawrence.
We don't even...
This is crazy.
It was just, this was very, truly surprising for me. Yeah, I was just really surprised.
The mouth is not...
Sheridan Watson from BuzzFeed right here.
Hi.
So you're a huge Bravo fan.
Oh,
Who
yes.
is your favorite and least favorite housewife?
Yeah, it's...
My favorite is probably Lisa Vanderpump.
That is... Okay.
It's better than... I think it's better than the Zuckerberg.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to say, because who knows when you're going to run.
I don't know. The thing about the Zuckerberg one is it looks like him, and the mouth movements are, and it's whether it's his voice or not.
Little.
Now this is like one of the first ones that ever came out. So I can tell by looking at that. Not to mention the fact that Buscemi's not female. But the thing is,
yeah, no, he's
are
not
we sure about that? No, but
he
the other
not
thing
an attractive
is
man either.
The Bill Hader one with Schwarzenegger, that one was a good one too. And there are many of these deep fakes out there, and people come across these. But the more you know that there are deep fake videos out there, the more you're gonna start looking at these with a critical eye, like you have.
Now, think about this: the possibility of.
Hell, we don't know if you're a deep fake.
Well, I was just
going
to say, how do we know that there is not a star right now that has been in...
Who's deep faking it?
No. Who's never been real? Think about that. Is there anybody that you can think of that's maybe the star of a television show or a movie that you've never seen in real life?
Didn't they do that once before? Didn't they try that? I thought they've tried that with...
I don't know.
Well, there's a movie out, or there was a movie out years ago where they tried that, where the star was actually AI, and it wasn't a real person. Somebody figure out what that movie was.
I don't remember now. The video that they just put out for, what was it? That perfume.
Oh yeah,
It was what was her name? It was the two. One of them was
one of them was real. One of them wasn't.
That right. Looked pretty incredible. So they're getting. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying it's not quite there yet. It's not quite to the point where you could go into a courtroom and go, "Holy!"
What's going to happen first are those actors who decide, I'm not going to do this part. My contract doesn't allow it, or I refuse to do it. They'll start using the deep fakes to stand in for them.
Right.
Now, whether the actor is okay with that.
Well, that's just it. Is because it's still...
That's right, Dom. Dominic is on it today. The movie was Simone. Al Pacino. Do you remember that at all?
Nope.
Yep. She was completely fake.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it?
The movie was Simone.
Just a fake?
Yeah. Right. I mean, she was a TV actress, and she wasn't real.
All right. Well, it's almost there. It's not quite to the point where you could use it as evidence in a court. I don't think. Maybe if you get the grainy video,
right?
Maybe that's what it is. By the way, speaking of grainy videos, did you see the one that was released? Was this last week?
Is that what this is?
The creature on tape. They don't know what it is. Somebody, and I don't think it's been solved yet. Maybe it has. But there's some security footage of this thing that looks like Dobby the elf walking through the shot, and it looks like somebody's carport or somebody's driveway, and there's a car sitting there, and there's this little, I don't know, skinny kind of, it almost looks like a kid walking through, and he stops and starts to look like he's doing the chicken dance. And I don't know if it's real or not, but maybe because I saw somewhere else it said solved, but that's often
that cannot be real.
It's often an internet trick to get you to click on the video when it says solved, and then you click on it and you realize they have no idea what they're talking about either. So is that Izzo on the phone?
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I was in a band called Deep Fake, and we were tribute to ABBA.
Mine was called Harder, Faster, Deeper. And you pick two out of three.
She's Italian.
Yeah, a new belt buckle. So I don't remember Simone, the movie Simone.
I didn't see it. It was just an Al Pacino crap film that I think he just did to pay the rent for that month.
Oh yeah, it was. But I mean, that was like the very first time that I remember the possibility of that occurring. And then, of course, CGI is just getting better and better and better. And
you know, this stuff is all coming for a reason. Everything, the movies are a great, what do you call it? A pathway to get us all classically conditioned or something. You watch these deep fake things. Within the next 50 years, we're going to be Skynet, and then we're going to be Matrix. All of us are going to be put in some pod somewhere, pumping out energy, and our brains are going to be going, "Oh yeah, cool. I'm having sex with a woman in the red dress. Yay!"
If you don't believe that the Defense Department and every other government department is not looking at these and already figuring out how to use them to their advantage, you're crazy. I mean, this would be an invaluable political tool where suddenly, hey, look, I have a video of President Trump sitting here in this smoke-filled room calling everybody the N-word.
Oh, dude, I promise you there are deep fakes of Trump out there right now. They just haven't been released.
Why? Why would they not release them?
What? Because he's the president of the United States. I don't know, but
the whole point would be to knock him off his perch, and why wouldn't they? Which begs the question: why haven't we seen them?
It's a good question.
I pay for it.
I mean, that's my whole point there. Being, Nancy Pelosi, this is a good opportunity for her to blame some of the stupid crap she said on deepfakes. Well, she did with the slurring.
If they flooded the internet with deepfake videos, nobody would know what news was real and what wasn't.
And here that you may just have answered the question as to why we haven't seen the Trump calling everybody an N-word is because the other side knows. Okay, if we do it, guess what? It's
on like the Donkey Kong.
It is war games.
It's all going to be set up. It's all going to be set up. Mark my words. And I've said this before. With the last 30 years in Hollywood, alien films have been more popular than ever, and what they're doing is they're preparing us all for some CGI type person to holographically appear on the White House lawn and say, yes, we've been here for a long time. We're here to solve your problems. And then all of us like sheep are going to go, lead the way, little green men. And we're all going to be turned into some, I don't know, Viscossi alien soup dish.
Yes, we're going to walk on, but they're going to bring a book that says to serve man just to prove that they are in fact here to serve us. And then at the last minute, the last of us that walk on the ship is going to yell back, it's a cookbook! To serve man.
Yes.
See? They should make that into a TV show.
Wow.
Wow,
that got deep.
They did, actually. Be a Twilight Zone episode. And Max Headroom, so Stinky just tweeted a picture of Max Headroom. Now, that was obviously everybody knew that was a computer-generated face. For the time, though.
Correct, yeah.
It was entertaining.
It was. Didn't he start with Coca-Cola? Wasn't that Coke?
Yeah, Coca-Cola. Yep.
And then he got his own television show. Talk about a success story. I mean,
but it was based on a real actor,
Matt Frewer.
Yeah,
and who is actually now in a show. He's on. What did I just see him on? He's one of the main characters. So
Dude, you talk about being typecast.
Yeah, well, you know, it's,
you can't look at him without seeing Max Headroom.
30 years to get a starring role.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So are you after your show tonight? Do you like climb into the steel safe house to avoid getting shot all weekend?
No, I actively go down there and I seek it out because I have no desire to stay on this mud ball any longer than I have to. And you know what? And they're not going to do it. One of two things are going to happen. God forbid if because I'm not going to lie. I got a little bit of a psycho side of me. I go down there every now and then to kind of capture some footage and see if I can get something. It doesn't happen. But if they ever did shoot a white guy down there, one of two things are going to happen. Either a sea of Chicago PD is going to be down there looking for me, or Chicago PD is going to go, "Oh, that asshole got shot."
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Finally, get rid of him.
You mean they're not friends of Izzo? Is that what you're saying?
Nah, half are and half would love to dig a post hole for me somewhere.
I'm telling you, I think the most lucrative thing you could do right now is quickly go get a PhD in psychology because Lori Lightfoot is going to need some serious therapy within the next year or two when she realizes she has bitten off an entire cow instead of just one bite of a steak.
Stop talking about her wife. She thought, for some strange reason, that by showing up being a lesbian minority female, that was going to part the Red Seas and everybody was going to stop their behavior. And we deserve it. We deserve, man. I keep telling people, the reason I wind up paying attention to Chicago is because this stuff sets the trends. Chicago, New York, LA, Dallas, sets the trends for everything else. And we are the stupidest state in the country. The stupidest state, and we're going to set up what you're going to do in your state, and we all deserve what we're gonna get coming.
Yeah, that's. I wish I could argue with you, but I can't.
I want to say something though, Dom. I've been looking at these photos that you're posting on Instagram and Facebook with you in the suit and the cigar.
Yeah,
dude, you're hot.
Which part of the king of talk show has arrived are you not getting? Do you not understand? So, you know what? I have fed you guys a line of horse crap for the last 6 months. You don't know who I am. You don't know. I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you.
Show us, baby.
Night, 7 p.m.
Because those are hot pics. If people aren't seeing those, you ought to go search them out.
Who's taking your pictures, by the way? Do you hire a professional, or you just find some kid on the street and give him a buck?
I don't kiss and tell, brother. You know that.
Kid on the street. There it is. All right. So the Rants of Izzo on tonight at 7 Eastern. Well, I was just about to say that. It's this damn time zone.
Sometimes I just have to help you out.
It's always a Brad Staggs tribute every night.
Yeah. Well, somebody's got to do it. Might as well be you.
All right. I'm gonna keep listening so I can steal from you later.
All right.
All right. See you, brother.
Go put some pants on. Smacking Duck just said, I'm not paying enough attention to the tweets to give credit where credit is due. And I see where you said Max Headroom earlier. However, Stinky put a picture up, and I could see the picture better than just text, which always irritates me when I tweet out a link to a YouTube video and all it just comes out as the link.
Yes. Yeah.
Half the time it comes up with a thumbnail of the image, and those always, because
if you upload a video to Twitter, 9 times out of 10 it'll show the video,
right?
But if you send a link up,
but it just sometimes though with a YouTube link it puts up a thumbnail. Sometimes it doesn't. I have no idea what they're.
It always puts up your Instagram videos though. It seems to.
Does it?
You haven't done one in a while.
And I agree with Fully. No, I haven't this week. I've been a little busy. Fully loaded high caliber kitty just tweeted Polar Express was creepy. Don't know how to get it.
Was creepy.
It was
for a kids movie. It was creepy.
I finally watched that. I think did I watch it all the way through? I don't even know if I did. A few weeks, couple of months, whatever ago. And I remember thinking, this is the weirdest. How did this get? Is this a kid's? Ugh. It was the Tom Hanks character was just
ugh. Oh yeah.
I didn't understand that one at all. That was a weird movie, but made somebody some money.
That little alien dude walking by the car you still got on the screen. That's crazy.
People are calling him Dobby the elf.
He looks like Dobby
from Lord of the Rings, and I would say it's a kid, but
I would say it's fake. It all over. I mean, I don't think there's anybody really walking by the car.
You don't think so?
No, I think.
Right, now here's where I'm going to
Good shadow.
I'm going to draw your attention to something here in just a second, because I thought the same thing until I realized that you can, in fact, and maybe this is in an editing program now, but I want you to look in the window to the left, and you'll see the reflection of the head at the right angle. So I don't know. This is, if you haven't seen it, it's a
weird.
It's a security camera footage from Dobby the elf. Or from somebody that they think might be Dobby the elf. So I have no idea if that's real or not or whatever, but sounds like it might be time.
You are now entering Odyssey Station. Please remain seated until docking is complete. Odyssey, dare to wonder.
She talks a lot. Here's another weird video that is out there. And this just showed up on the Daily Mail website. It's a guy on YouTube, and they found what is, I don't know how you describe it other than it's a ribbon of light. And there's some audio with the video, and these guys are chasing it.
Not be added into the footage. I mean, I know they can do some amazing things nowadays.
It's, how would you describe this, Ron? It's
like the tail of like the long tail of a kite.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that looks like.
It does.
With lights on it.
Yeah, and it segments itself. It kind of breaks apart into little, like it almost looks like an amoeba that breaks apart into different two different cells and then kind of comes back together.
Because the top of that thing stays pretty static. Mm-hmm. The bottom of it's flipping around. That looks like the tail of a kite.
All right, now the people who put this on YouTube, they say they chased this thing through the California desert and that they finally got to, I guess they almost got right under it. And they said that it disappeared. It's a really weird video, and I'll tweet out a link to it. They even suggested that possibly it was a kite being pulled by a car, that maybe they had it tied to a car.
Oh,
because
maybe.
Because they said they couldn't catch up to it, and then at one point the thing just right into the ground. And it's really strange. I mean, the way that this thing, and that's the other problem with any videos now of why didn't they shoot this in the day? You know, if they had waited until it was light outside, we could have seen what it was. But with the continued evolution of LED light technology and
remote controls,
all of that
that's
stuff.
how it turns off.
Yeah, you never know what is. It's like the deep fakes. It's getting to the point where you don't know what's real and what's not real.
See, that's the position I have, is that in today's day and age, we've got Bigfoot videos still blurry. We've got UFO videos still blurry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the cameras on these iPhones. There's no reason that these videos should still be blurry.
No, and the problem is, and I just tweeted it out. Did I not put I didn't put what I learned today. So you'll have to look up at Real Brad Staggs. It's out there. Everybody has a camera now, or 95% of the population, whatever.
And a lot of people have them on their dash now.
Yeah, dash
it's not
cams,
as prevalent here as it is in like Russia, but hell, I've got a dash camera. It's on every time my vehicle's on.
I don't want to know what.
That's for them idiots that drive in front of me.
Are you just waiting for the opportunity to find something that's
worthy
of putting on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we have not been able to. But again, if you go back to the Billy Meyer case and to the Gulf Breeze case, those were absolutely crystal clear. Well, Gulf Breeze.
Brad, wasn't the Billy Meyer one? Wasn't that found to be fake?
No. Show me where it was found to be fake.
No, you asked me to research it one day, and I
did. And okay, if you researched it, is it fake? How'd you? And tell me what's fake about it.
Tell me what's real about it. Didn't they find all of those things in a basement or an attic somewhere?
You're conflating that with Gulf Breeze.
Okay.
And my point again about Gulf Breeze was the fact that if Ed and Francis Walters, if Ed Walters faked it, the claim is he sold the house, moved to another house, and the new owners
left the stuff in
owners went up to the attic and, oh, look, there's the model of the UFO that they had pictures of in the book. So you write a book and you move into a bigger house because of the royalties you've made off of the book, and you leave the subject of your book in your attic. I don't know. And he may have faked it. I don't know. I wasn't there. But it just seems a little dicey to me.
Well, there's no question in my mind that you've done way more research on this than probably anybody else because you used to do your UFO stuff. At some point, we got to see the hair again.
And I want to believe. I want to believe. I really do. And I'm the first.
What's your YouTube channel that has that on it?
Vintage Brad Staggs.
Vintage Brad Staggs. Yeah, you guys got to go check that out. There's actually some good stuff out there.
Younger version of me.
It was a much younger version.
Damn, if I knew
with some hair,
then what I know now.
Brad, how much of your life?
The stories of jail I could be telling you right now.
How much of your life did you spend doing UFO research?
Well, I mean, technically, from the time I was.
You were
actively doing research.
MUFON member and everything,
no,
right?
I was not a MUFON member. There's a bunch of weirdos. I say that in jest. It's like magic clubs.
They're going to come visit you now.
We're all full of weirdo freaks.
Two guys in black suits.
Take any, which, by the way, I want to get into that with Tessa Thompson, but how long have I done? I mean, all my life I've been fascinated by this stuff. Started with Star Trek, but I would love to be able to prove it. But so far, I mean, proof is elusive. And even when you do, like I said, you have hardcore proof with the Billy Myers case, and then it's, he faked it because whatever. And honestly, the people that I know who investigate, and I personally, and I spoke with them, they investigated it. They couldn't disprove it.
Right.
So I'm only going off of that. And I'm saying if there's evidence that he faked it, please let me know. Because from all accounts that I've seen, it basically ruined his life because people came from all around the world and were like, we want to follow you. We want to follow you. He became almost a cult leader. And I don't think that was
which is not what he wanted. Yeah.
Right. And that's just, so again, I may be wrong, but that was my take on the whole thing. Do I have time to do this? I think so. No, I'm going to wait until next hour because the Men in Black, that's the, if you've seen the big controversy about what she said.
I did not hear what she said.
I heard what she said and it kind of got all over me initially. But again, it's the way the media manipulates what people say. And because she's, I'm hoping for
she's
woke
the
title.
one on Westworld.
Yeah, she was.
She was, yeah.
She's one of the leads. She I think, Chris Hemsworth in Men in Black. And I think the controversy was, why is it Men in Black? Why isn't it, women in black? But we'll get into that next hour. The reason being, Men in Black are tied to, they were never, first of all, they were never women. Nobody knows what they were. They were figures that showed up in black suits. So, okay, you want to change the name to Women in Black? we don't know that they were women. We don't know that they were men, but they were called Men in Black. So why don't you just call them Women in Black? Shut up. Just at some point, it just gets asinine. Cuba Gooding Jr. has been officially charged with misdemeanor forcible touching. Who knew? Who knew you could be forcibly touched? And I get what they're saying, but it's like, sir, you are charged with misdemeanor forcible touching. Is it, is there a better, don't we have some better term than forcible touching? Isn't it assault? I mean, what's the difference? If it's assault, it's assault.
If you were grabbed and didn't want to be grabbed.
He was formally charged
which who the hell
yesterday.
Out there doesn't want to be grabbed.
Right? Especially by Cuba Gooding. He can grab me just for the story. With misdemeanor, he was charged yesterday with misdemeanor forcible touching stemming from an alleged groping of a woman in a Manhattan bar last Sunday. Pleaded not guilty in Manhattan criminal court. There was video that's not loading right now, but there was video of him. They're walking him into the courthouse with handcuffs on. Please, what the hell are they handcuffing Cuba Gooding Jr. for? Well, it's just standard operation procedure. Where do you go? If you didn't know the guy, yes, I'd say, yeah. If this is just everybody knows who Cuba Gooding freaking Jr. is.
Show me the money.
He's not going to...
I started to say it's not like he's going to pitch a fit, knock a cop out, run off.
Right.
They'll find him.
The perp walk is just stupid. That in that case, it's just stupid. It's
That's
like
for the media, Brad. That's what that's for.
Well, so who did he piss off in the media? Somebody.
Okay. Well, that probably happens pretty often.
I just thought that was the dumbest thing. What? And if you, I mean, obviously, yes, it's wrong to assault somebody or to forcibly touch them, unless they pay you for it. In which case, that's role playing, and that's totally fine. But with Cuba, I mean, what the handcuffs and the just after a while, it just gets stupid. And how do we know? There's video evidence of it. How do you know it was him? How do you know it wasn't a deep fake? You know?
You don't. That's the thing.
What is to say that this is not all fabricated? It's a bunch of hooey, and it wasn't really him when he was somewhere else.
Show me the money.
And yes, I agree with you, Jack Hole Angry Beavers. She says, "Why didn't Cuba just?"
Now I watched the little video. TMZ had it. I watched the video. He was drunk. There's no question about it.
He was in a bar.
He was in a bar. He was having fun. He was drunk. He was slurring. But nowhere in that video does it show him groping a woman. Now that's what his attorneys are saying. Doesn't show him doing that.
Shows him drunk though, and you know what drunk men do when they get drunk? They forcibly touch people. Damn, I miss the days when you get shit. Go to thegunbox.com if you have a weapon at home, you need to secure it and you need to access it quickly, which who doesn't? That's just being a responsible gun owner. And with the gun box, you can access it quickly by simply waving a little card over it and boop, it pops right open so you don't have to think about a combination. Although if you prefer that, you can key in the combination and open it that way. Not only it's stylish, and there are alerts that you can sign up for that let you know if you're not even in the house, if you're halfway across the country, let you know somebody's messing with your gun box. Use promo code Mojo50, save 10% off the gun box at thegunbox.com. Secure your weapon and be able to access it quickly. Thegunbox.com. This is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Well, the U.S. says it has video evidence linking Iran to this week's apparent attacks on 2 oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. Iran denies any involvement. The video appears to show members of Iran's Revolutionary Guard removing an unexploded mine from the hull of one of the vessels. The Pentagon says it's a case of Iran trying to get rid of the evidence. The BBC's Jonathan Marcus.
You have to look at this and say, is this, as the Americans say, an Iranian vessel? Is it somebody else pretending to be the Iranians? We just at the moment don't know. But I think it is the first important part of the case against Iran. I think many countries will want to see more evidence.
Saying she wants to spend more time with her family. Back home in Arkansas, Presidential Press Secretary Sarah Sanders will leave her White House job at month's end.
President Trump called Sanders a warrior.
She is going to be going, I guess you could say, private sector.
Sanders is one of the few remaining staff members who worked on the Trump campaign.
It's one of the greatest jobs I could ever have. I've loved every minute, even the hard minutes.
What's next for Sarah Sanders?
If we can get her to run for the governor of Arkansas, I think she'll do very well, and I'm trying to get her to do that.
Ed Donahue, Washington.
Responding to the worst measles outbreak in decades, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has signed legislation ending non-medical exemptions, including religious exemptions from school vaccination requirements. Siena College pollster Stephen Greenberg says New Yorkers by a wide margin support the vaccination mandate.
It's got support from 85% of Democrats, 88% of independents, and 79% of Republicans. Across the board support.
Greenberg talking with WTEN-TV. Wall Street this morning, stock futures in the red. Dow futures down about 45 points. NASDAQ futures off 46. S&P futures down 7. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Matthew 25 Ministries. Matthew 25 Ministries is one of the few charities I'll actually endorse because I know them. I've worked with them, and I know almost all of the money that you donate goes to help people. Go to m25m.org. m25m.org.
Going from A to B may involve X, Y, and Z. Off Track with Whiskey 6, Sundays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern from Mojo 50.
Dr. Ken Brown here, host of Gut Check Project with my co-host Eric Rieger. Eric, we've been seeing Mojo guys over there and over here at Spoonie talk about Atrantil for bloating. I've seen in my practice that Atrantil is a whole lot more than just a bloating product.
Yes, it does a whole lot more than just fix bloating because of the polyphenols that you find in Atrantil.
You're exactly right. The polyphenols are those molecules that we find in the Mediterranean diet. It makes vegetables and fruits very colorful. What are some of the things that these polyphenols do, Eric?
These polyphenols can actually stop inflammation. They can help you have more energy. They can help you with anti-aging. And polyphenols are great for athletes.
It sounds like it's going to help a whole lot more people than just bloating. Tell me how everybody should be taking Atrantil.
If you want to dose Atrantil, it's 2 capsules 3 times a day, basically with your meals. But if you aren't bloated and you just want that polyphenol intake every day, 2 to 3 capsules a day will work for you.
Go to lovemytummy.com/mojo.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50. The mothership has landed.
All right, he's back. He's sitting in the chair next to me, and what I think a lot of people don't know. Who? The Brandon Morris from RedState.com is here today, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this with people, but
okay.
He's to kind of make ends meet. He's been a helicopter pilot out in the.
A lot of people don't know that.
In Arizona, he brought us some video of the one of the rescues that he actually was taking part in, and and again, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but this is. A shot of one of the rescues of one of the victims that apparently had a little hiking accident. And
right. Holy crap, I'd be sick as hell right now.
So
you were pulling her up.
Let me go ahead and fill you guys in. So this woman was like 70-something years
Holy
old.
Cow.
And she had injured herself while she was hiking through Arizona. And as we were picking her up, I thought, I bet she's had a very boring life. I bet she's had a pretty bad day. I'm going to give her a fun little ride.
Yeah.
And so
yes.
I picked her up in the helicopter and just started spinning the winch.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, not only did this really, really make it became a viral clip that went everywhere. I really thought that I really just improved this lady's life a little bit.
I think you did. Did you have how much cleanup was there to do in the helicopter after she got in there and just vomited basically her intestines out? I think.
Oh no, well, I mean, I made her lean out the side.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I was like, listen, bitch, don't get this all in my.
Either lean out the side or you're cleaning it up.
Exactly, and
I don't blame you.
At least be a little grateful that.
Look, brother, I have personal experience of women puking outside of moving cars. Doesn't work.
Oh no, it doesn't work. Because
that crap swirled around my head.
Yeah.
Every time a woman sees Ron, they vomit. It's just kind of a natural thing that happens. It's unfortunate.
But that woman has probably had more attention given to her in the last.
Can you imagine that
than she ever had in her life?
The just spinning like that, getting up. I would have been sicker than sick on that one. That was just nasty.
Yeah, imagine that plus the fact that you've got like a really bad, like what was it, broken leg or something like that?
Yeah, I think. Well, didn't her face broke? She had multiple injuries, and they were really trying to get her. It was not pretty at all. But good to have you here today. And
Thanks, man.
I saved this for when you got here because I wanted to get your take on it too.
Okay.
And the ugly guy who makes women vomit behind the glass. This was Tessa Thompson. She was being interviewed, I guess, on the red carpet premiere of Men in Black. And I just want you to listen to the questions here and her answers because. At first, when I first heard what she had said, I was like, why? Okay. Tessa Thompson. And then this.
Really use your voice and your platform to talk about progress in the industry. And now you're leading a film that traditionally was led by 2 men. What do you think?
Because it's called Men in Black!
Message really sends out to the audience.
God, that's annoying.
Well, goodness, I think so many things. I mean, first of all, there's always been women inside of the Men in Black universe. They just have never been at the forefront of any of these stories.
Thank you. And for that answer,
Wow.
I commend her.
Yeah.
It's like the first thing out of the reporterette from Variety is, you're in this franchise, Men in Black, and how's it?
How is it that now you're taking over for what those men did?
But I'm guessing she didn't stop there.
No.
And my hope is that we can get to a space inside of Hollywood where it's not noteworthy that a woman should top line a studio film.
It's not at all now.
It's I was gonna say
it's not. Women have been headlining movies for how long now? Since we invented the camera?
Yeah, but they're not called Men in Black.
Oh,
Silence of the Lambs.
Persons in Black.
Persons in Black.
Speed with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
There, I think
Underworld.
That's 2.
The entire Underworld series.
Wonder Woman
for sure.
There's a word missing, guys. None of those titles have the word men in it.
Okay. If a movie is good, if the story is good,
right?
I don't care if it's a man or a woman in the lead.
Aliens?
Yep.
Or Alien? Either one. Alien had Ripley. Yep. Ripley is a beloved character who is considered like one of the biggest badasses in sci-fi. No one's sitting there going, oh yeah, but she's a woman, so we're not really gonna count it. No, it's considered one of the pivotal films in sci-fi.
And by the way,
this is not a big deal that another woman, this is now a regular occurrence, is leading up a sci-fi film.
What's the Terminator woman's name? The one
Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor. Isn't the new movie like Terminator 85 or something like that? Doesn't she headline that movie?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the
40 years later.
The Sarah Connor Chronicles.
No, it's a newer.
Although the Sarah Connor Chronicles starring Lena Headey, was amazing.
So
what's the new one called, Brandon? Like is it a Terminator movie?
Yeah, it's like 2080. So I don't know. I get lost. I love Terminator, but I stopped caring about Terminator after the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
And there you go. She continued, by the way.
Thing that we feel like we have to acknowledge and congratulate.
Speedy internet here at
because it just happens not frequently enough. And my hope is that a film like this help us get there. But the truth is that, so many women have asked me, and men too, have said, what does it mean that a whole generation of young girls can see themselves in this film? And that's significant. I got out of my car, the first person I saw was a little girl in a black suit and said how much the movie meant to her. But I also think it's important.
Who obviously was not bothered because she was a little girl and she was wearing a suit, and so she did relate. So thank you for proving the point.
That young boys, that folks that are genderqueer, non-binary get to see me in this space.
Say, we're the Men in Black. We're here to save the day. And those shoes with those pants, are you kidding?
Because we just need more representation. I think it's important to go into a cinema and to relate to a protagonist that doesn't look like you, that doesn't have your particulars. I think that's what movies are designed to do.
Were you staring at my particulars? Because if you were,
those are nice particulars.
Yeah, no joke. I was.
It's Friday night, and I'm not busy. If you guys want to get together later,
Tessa Thompson is a attractive woman. Let me just go ahead and say that. She is an attractive
not with
woman.
that particular frame that I chose to freeze on, but then there's not a frame in 30 at any given time.
I actually do not like it with her hair pulled back. I don't
either.
That.
I don't either. It looks
makes
them look
to make us more empathetic and compassionate towards the other, and we have never needed that more. It's certainly in
Why does that woman look
history,
so lost in the background?
in a global sphere, so
I can't stop looking at her.
That's
I know.
always what I want to do on film.
It's because she's white, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly
because she's
why.
white. She's
the white people hogging all the frame. She just looks like she's like
she is. What's she doing back there?
I don't know.
And then there's the other woman back there staring at the Men in Black dude who's leaning up against the wall. So, but the bottom line with this interview is Tessa Thompson did not, at least not to my knowledge, come right out and say, you know what? Wow, we need to have women in black. It was the reporter that's questioning the line of question. It's an attorney tactic.
Well, here's what I think just went down, because I was kind of watching her face a little bit, and I'm starting to think that maybe she just gave the answer that she's expected to give in her situation. Because if she doesn't give that answer, it's trouble.
Oh, yeah, because then she's the enemy.
Right, exactly. But
why didn't you use the opportunity?
I think that usually when it comes to what celebrities really feel, what they lead off with is generally their true feelings. I think that Tessa Thompson doesn't think it's a huge deal that she's actually a lead in this movie. I think she actually does think like, oh, it's. I mean, I'd like to get to a point where this isn't a big deal, and so would I.
Yes.
Because actually, we were at that point, and then we left it behind, and now we're back at it.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Brandon. She probably started off with the right phrase. But to keep from getting blackballed in Hollywood,
exactly.
she has to qualify.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like anyone in any industry, because people forget that even being an actor and a celebrity is a business. And it does require you to say and do things that, like a corporate setting. You have to wear certain things, you have to act a certain way, you have to maintain a certain set of rules. And it's the same thing with celebrities. However, I will say that the reason that they do that is because they brought that on themselves. All Tessa Thompson has to do is go, hey, have you ever been to a movie before?
Right. But then
because if you've noticed, there are a lot of women taking leads in sci-fi films. We just made one. We just made a huge stink over one of them with Captain Marvel and Brie Larson. We just did that. Why are you doing this now? Like, honestly, if a female celebrity had any figurative balls, I would like to see that happen. Just one, be like, y'all, there have been female leads in sci-fi films for ages.
Yes.
This is not new.
Not in the
We
least.
have been doing this every freaking year, multiple times. We don't need to rehash this as a success for feminism, because it's not. A success for feminism would be going
in
into
the kitchen, naked, barefoot, and pregnant.
That too.
That's not the right
Going
answer.
over to the Middle East and stopping them from killing women for being raped. Letting them learn how to read and drive cars and hold jobs. That would be a success for feminism.
Yes, it would.
But a woman being in the lead in a movie? Where the hell have you been? Well, this has been going on for forever now.
Barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen is where you've been.
I literally cannot name. I have forgotten more movies that I have seen with women leads than I can remember.
See?
This is stupid. This is to me not. I don't want to completely blame celebrities for this. Okay, this is the media.
But why not? It's fun.
Because I have to say that look, the media pushes them into this kind of nonsense. They're the ones that ask these questions and force them to say certain things, because if they don't, then the media lambasts them.
My favorite lead woman in movies are the action movies like Underworld or Mila Jovovich, how you say her name?
Yeah, Mila Jovovich.
Resident Evil.
It doesn't matter. Just hey you.
Yes.
Hey you woman.
Yeah, that the Underworld series, and there's actually what was it? There's Atomic Blonde was recent. There's another one coming out that makes it look like it's like a John Wick, but with the female lead. And they're coming out with a John Wick.
John Chick.
John Chick. That's right. Well done.
Thank you.
Apparently now they're coming out with a spin-off for John Wick where a female takes the lead.
And there you have it.
And you know what? Perfect. It's called like The Ballerina, and they kind of hinted at it in the during the John Wick 3. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
No,
Wasn't
honestly,
the girl with the dragon tattoo something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, they're coming out with a new one. It's the man with the dragon tattoo.
So take it away from women's spaces.
Yeah, that's what happens. Let's. Did you want to do headlines today?
I've got headlines.
Oh, look at you! Look at you! A helicopter pilot and the headlines as well.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
No,
not today.
It only got it right 4 out of 5 times today or this week. Close.
By the way, how did it feel like whenever he did get it right for a change?
Moist.
Moist. That's right. I'm not bothered by that word like some people are. I don't understand the people's aversion to the word.
Creamy.
Moist.
Creamy.
Let's see here. Hang on. Actually, somebody wrote me one not long ago, and I guess maybe I should just use it. Let's see here. 5 stories now I have for you. 1 is false and 4 are true. Can you tell me which is which? Or will you just sit there and bitch? Thank you, Peekaboo.
That was probably the most accurate one you've read in a long time.
I thought you were going to work the word Jew in there somewhere.
Peekaboo, thank you for that one, but people are going to bitch no matter what.
Yes.
So.
Yep. You can't please anybody anytime.
So, yeah, they're pretty much going to be like, I'm taking the second option. Okay, here we go. Florida social media coordinator paid in hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
In some sense, a restaurant without a digital presence earns a bit of cachet these days. Some of my personal favorites, retro hot dog stands, old school delis, time-tested pizzerias, and popular enough to exist without the help of Twitter accounts and Facebook pages. But for new businesses, some sort of social media presence is a general must. So a few years ago, when a woman named Danielle Mamamangamana
Is that of the Manhattan Mama Denny?
That's right.
Okay.
Saw that a new hot dog restaurant opening near her Bradenton, Florida. Near her in Bradenton, Florida, she tried to find the business on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. She tells the local paper that she came up dry. Ring-a-ding. She then put her social media job credentials to work and reached out to Williams hot dog restaurant to ask if they'd like to hire her. The owner said they couldn't afford to bring on a new employee, but offered her a deal. He'd pay her in hot dogs. She agreed. I love hot dogs.
Can you fill me up with hot dogs, please?
And they did. They filled her up with...
Just give them to me. Give me the hot dog. Give them all to... I can take more.
Put them in there.
Don't stop. I want more.
Yeah, sissies.
Which, by the way, is a horrible safe word.
That really is. Don't use that.
No.
Scientists have taught a bear to mimic facial expressions, but in a mean way.
Oh. So, okay.
We are officially one step closer to fully communicating with our furry friends. For the first time in history, scientists have taught a bear to mimic human facial expressions with a sarcastic and dismissive vibe.
So, like a wife.
Kinda.
Hey-o!
Hey-o! I honestly never thought we'd see this level of bear-human synchronicity. Animal communications expert Dr. Paul Wednin.
If you say Doolittle.
Dr. Paul Doolittle. Doolittle. When bears look at people, they usually want to communicate something very simple, like this is my territory or feed me. Getting a bear to communicate disdain for the feelings of others through small but unmistakable expressions is actually a momentous breakthrough, said the scientist.
I think they have a way of doing that right now, though, and it's called they bite your arm off.
Well, that's overt aggression. What they're looking for is passive aggression.
All right. They just want to tone down a little bit.
Right. But it is interesting because if they can actually teach passive aggression in animals, that means that they're way smarter than we thought that they were.
Yeah, because animals have a tendency to they feel the emotion, they work through it, and then it's gone.
And then it's gone.
Yeah.
Right. They live in the moment.
Yep.
But apparently not bears. Bears can actually communicate a little more in depth than that.
So we do that and combine it. Remember the bear who had the hurt front paw, so he kept walking on his back legs? Remember that video?
No.
Oh, I'll find that one for you. Because if we can combine the teaching him to have human facial expressions while he's walking on 2 feet. I'll find that video for you. It's hysterical.
Isn't that a character in the Cleveland show?
Let's say, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jobs available for ninjas up 2,505% since 2006.
There's a shot.
Yeah.
There's a shot. I have a shot at being one.
Need another confirmation that the world of programming is as nerdy as you suspected? Well, today we learned tech employers want recruits to think that they'll be hired as ninjas or Jedis, like we're all thinking Kill Bill or Star Wars or something. Just take a look at the 2,505% overall increase in the number of jobs described with the word ninja since May 2006, according to job site Indeed.com. Similar rises in the numbers of job listings were listings with Rockstar and Rockster. 810%, or with Jedi, 67%, happened since then too.
I want to be a Jedi.
You want to be a Jedi?
I want to be a Jedi.
Who doesn't want to be a Jedi?
Right. If Qui-Gon Jinn can do it, so can I.
Well, you know, He actually went on to become a father who tracks down.
Hey, where do you think he learned the essential skills?
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
I would definitely go in and spend some time learning to be a Jedi. But then I'd turn evil because that's what
Yeah.
Russian Communist Party calls for ban of HBO's miniseries Chernobyl. Communists in Russia, a Marxist-Leninist Communist Party, has called for the country to ban hit HBO miniseries Chernobyl. The party, not to be confused with the larger Communist Party of Russian Federation, is appealing to the Federal Service for Supervision of Communications, Information Technology, and Mass Media.
It's almost like they don't want to look bad.
It's almost kind of like they feel like the state is looking a little nasty right there, and they want to make it a little smoother for them.
Yeah, that.
What a nice bunch of people.
Communism doesn't work. And
now, how dare you say that?
I know. I was just. Was that my outside voice? Sorry.
Yeah.
I did not mean that, comrade.
Well, we're going to send some people to talk to you today.
Good. I hope they're women in black and not men in black.
One of them will be a woman, but it's she's not very good looking. She's pretty.
Make her wear a hijab, right?
No.
Why do they call it a hijab? Why isn't it a her job?
Why isn't it a she job? Oh, because she job sounds kind of
right. Just
you know what? Moving on. Furthermore, the head of the executive committee on the Central Committee of the party, Sergei Malinikovich.
Of the Manhattan.
Exactly.
Right.
Has called for a criminal case to be opened against the show, calling for a libel lawsuit against the writer, director, and producers.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be vacationing anytime soon in Moscow.
Good luck, comrade.
Yeah.
Tamil Nadu woman scolded by husband for TikTok addiction, drinks poison, sends video via WhatsApp.
And half the world got it because their security measures were down.
Exactly. New Delhi, 24-year-old mother of 2 children committed suicide on Thursday in Tamil Nadu after she was scolded by her husband and prevented from using the short video-making app. Anitha recorded herself as she drank the poison, then sent the video via WhatsApp to her husband, who is in Singapore. According to the media reports, Anitha's husband, Paz Havanel,
yes,
did not appreciate his wife's TikTok addiction and had asked her to quit the habit. In her last video, Anitha is seen drinking a dark-colored liquid from a white bottle before breaking into a hysterical cough. She soon died after.
May have been that it was poison.
Maybe.
Could have been.
Have you ever been on TikTok, Brad?
Yes, yes.
It's pretty addictive.
I
am myself a little bit of a TikTok addict.
I just feel a little guilty.
I will find myself sitting there, and I'll sit there for an hour watching these things
on the
and
toilet.
not realize it.
On the toilet.
Maybe sometimes I'm in the library, but
I just see to me, I think of TikTok because Doc would always say, "Man, look at all these." It was like 15-year-old girls doing backflips.
That's what it used to be.
Used
but
to be.
Not
Now
all
it's way
that
not
now.
that. Yeah, it's not that at all now.
Well,
it's actually.
Then what the hell do I care?
Of course.
So it's now,
ladies and gentlemen, Brad Staggs.
Send all hate mail to and FBI inquiries too.
Yes, exactly. And again, send the women in black, not the men in black. So it's more than just teenagers doing.
See, you
human
expect
tricks.
them. You expect the women in black to show up and say something along the lines, like look like Tessa Thompson.
Maybe.
Oh,
They
please.
never look like Tessa Thompson.
No, and there are some that you look at it and then you watch it for a second. You go, oh no, got to go past that one.
Yeah.
And then those kids or even adult people who try to do those dances. Oh my god!
There's
they
the
crack
dad,
me up.
the dad guy who does all the dances and stuff. Yeah, but he's
he
like
does the
super serious about it.
He does the dad dance?
No, he does like he does all the latest dance trends because there's dance trends on TikTok. And he does them, and he does them semi-well, but he's like super serious about it, which just makes it that much more awkward. Yeah, I'm just like, dude.
I love those dudes.
But my favorite are like the kids who do like the reality checks and all that kind of stuff, and they say things that are completely non-politically correct to say while being completely real, and I love it. I that gives me hope for the future. I want to see more of that.
Damn it!
Those are your 5 headlines. Which one is fake? Is it the Florida social media coordinator who is paid in hot dogs? Scientists teaching bears to mimic facial expressions? Jobs available for ninjas up 2,505%. Russian communications want Chernobyl banned. That's not the Russian. And a woman drank poison after her husband got mad at her for a TikTok addiction. little bit of an overreaction. Women, am I right?
Right. Don't they all?
Those are your 5 headlines. Which one is fake? You tell me, but first, Brad Staggs.
So if you haven't yet gone to Combat Flip-Flops, please do. It's not about the flip-flops. It's about the mission. And these guys have done an incredible job. If you go to Combat Flip-Flops, there's a promo code, Ron, and that promo code is...
Mojo25.
I knew that, which is why I wanted you to say it. But what happens here when you buy a pair of these flip-flops that are made actually in an old army boot factory in Afghanistan? They pay for the education of Afghan women. You want to do something that helps women, helps the world, because the women over there are you want to talk about real oppression? That's real oppression. Help them. Go to combatflipflops.com. Order something, use promo code Mojo25 and get 25% off.
These guys are truly trying to make a difference.
Yes, they
Peace through education.
Combatflipflops.com. All right, so I'm gonna which one is fake there, Ron? I mean,
well, I was going to go with Smiling Bears, but I think the Ninja one, the Ninja Jobs. Although I'd like to do that.
Ninja Jobs.
Hey, you know what a ninja job is, right?
No.
$20, same as downtown. I'm going with
if you have to ask.
WhatsApp. I'm going with the poison on WhatsApp.
Poison on the WhatsApp. All right. Hit me with that drum roll. Should have went with your gut, Ron.
What was it?
Damn it.
What was it?
Smiling Bears.
It's actually it's not Smiling Bears.
I know.
It's
facial expression.
The negative facial expression bears.
My note to it, by the way, I had that one starred, but I wrote down bear facial. And I didn't realize I had written down bear facial until I looked, and it's that's a completely different show. Or not. Your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Well, Elizabeth Warren's campaign turned into an infomercial on The View yesterday.
Your 50 millionth and first dollar, you got to pitch in 2 cents and 2 cents for everyone after that. And with that, we can cancel student loan debt for about 95% of the people who have it.
Complete with a cheering crowd, the Elizabeth Warren infomercial on The View continued. Don't order yet. She's also got another offer.
But we can do so much more. 2 cents. We can not only do that, we can also provide universal tuition-free technical school, 2-year college, and 4-year college for every one of our kids who wants to get an education.
I know what you're thinking. That's a great deal, Elizabeth. Where do I order? Well, she says, wait, there's more.
Plus, we can do universal child care for every baby age 0 to 5. Universal pre-K for every 3-year-old and 4-year-old in this country, and raise the wages of every child care worker and preschool teacher.
It's only 2 cents, people. It's only 2 pennies. If you would just give up 2 pennies, everyone can have everything. It's a big lie. If you want proof, just look south to Venezuela. Chavez promised all that free stuff too, and now they're starving in the streets. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. No sale here. Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opalka's 2-minute drill is powered by MojoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood. Gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MojoWildRice.com. MojoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
You know how I think we could help Nancy Pelosi?
Help her with her wardrobe.
Yes, because wearing a goldenrod, what looked like kind of a goldenrod stormtrooper jacket.
It kind of looked like she was like, I kind of want to look like Michael Jackson a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to have like a mustard yellow look to it, kind of like Dwight Schrute from The Office.
I want to look like Michael Jackson, but not as tacky. But then she missed
the mark,
completely.
and it's still pretty tacky. You don't. I'm sorry, but you can't be that age and then wear that jacket. When did we become fashion guru? Like fashion is, it's like, oh my God, that looks so horrible. We're going to do red carpet fashion
if you are the
commentary.
If you are the Speaker of the House and you're doing press conferences, just a thought, you might want to look good. I don't know.
Just try it.
Difficult for her. Smacking Duck. So not reading the listeners' guesses then? Hey, we only have so much time. If you'd make them more entertaining, we might.
Damn, Brad.
Jackie McJackhole, TikTok edition. No wonder. And by the way, I kept thinking when you were saying TikTok, I was thinking of Tic Tacs at first.
Banning oh yeah, she had an addiction to Tic Tacs. And
yeah, that's I thought. No woman ever listens to criticism from a man. Jackie McJackhole.
Except they do.
They should.
And they.
I mean, if they know what's good for them.
Yeah, but the moment that she started listening to a man and she killed herself because she would much rather die on her feet.
Yes.
Than live in chains
like Cuba Gooding Jr.
Right.
So yeah, by the way, I found the bear. Since the bear, you said the bear facial was fake.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bear that was walking on 2 feet. Have you not? This was the one that they found in Jersey.
I immediately feel so bad for this bear.
But look at him; he's just
walking.
So anyway, I was just walking through the yard, and hey, what are you doing behind the wall there? Hey, you're looking suspicious back there behind the wall. I'm just gonna walk over here.
He might just be looking for help.
Yeah, no, he's looking for. He has an injured paw or
he has a thorn in his paw. He's looking for a mouse.
If I wasn't afraid of him biting my head off, I would totally be like, dude, let me take a look.
And that's the thing. You can't trust a bear. I mean, you could go over and say, hey,
you really can't trust a bear.
Bob, I'll be glad to get that thorn out of your paw. And then, the bear.
How many of these bear sightings are like Bigfoot sightings too?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I imagine we see Bigfoot a little bit more than we see bears. We just don't know that we're seeing Bigfoot.
It's possible.
I think that maybe he disguises himself as a person and he walks among us.
It's absolutely possible.
Yeah.
For those of you who hate bubble tea and you know who you are, here's a story that will, I guess, bolster your position. So I give this to you simply as a... just to show that I'm a giver. An X-ray showing 100 bubble tea pearls in a teen's abdomen has doctors confused. A teenager in China reportedly had more than 100 undigested bubble tea pearls in her abdomen.
Dude!
Which caused an abdominal blockage and showed up on a CAT scan, according to news reports. Could this really happen, they say? Bubble tea pearls can cause constipation. They normally wouldn't show up on a CAT scan. And the X-ray, I don't know if that's an X-ray or, well, they say it's a CAT scan, so I guess it's a still from a CAT scan.
Dude!
But it's a weird, I mean, how do they...
Dude!
That's like up, I mean, is that where your intestines are, way up there? It looked kind of strange. She's obviously swallowed Casper the Friendly Ghost or a jellyfish.
That was the Snapchat.
Is that
what? So bubble tea, do you like bubble tea?
I like bubble tea.
Do you?
I do.
Isn't it called boba?
It is boba.
Well, I know. I said bubble tea, and you guys were, but it's boba tea, and I'm like, okay, whatever, it's boba tea, but they call it bubble tea, so I was obviously still wrong. Women. Not only can it says that not only can it cause constipation, but it can also cause diarrhea. Seems like
it's like throwing the dice.
Shot. Yeah. Wow. The 14-year-old girl who lives in Zhejiang, China, said she had been constipated for 5 days, wasn't able to eat, and was experiencing stomach pain. That's when they found those unusual spherical shadows in her abdomen.
Mm.
After speaking with the teen about what she'd eaten recently, doctors concluded the unusual shadows were actually undigested bubble tea pearls, which are ordinarily made from tapioca starch. Although she says she only had one bubble tea in 5 days, her doctor said she would have needed to consume much more than this in order to cause her symptoms. And you know what? Maybe she was not supposed to be drinking bubble tea and she didn't want to get in trouble. But I just think that's weird that all that stuff would show up.
That's my question is, why are we eating things that apparently we can't digest?
Or can digest too quickly, or whatever it is.
It's like a crapshoot.
Hold on.
Get it?
You know, what I need is the drummer to sit right in front of me.
Yeah,
on a
we
big
really do
button.
need
Boom.
somebody.
I can just write.
No, we just need somebody like
Person.
live in studio. Is
That's
what
a
it
good-
is. A guy who sits in a corner and just that's his entire right, Ron. That's his entire job.
Ron, as president and CEO of the company, would you please allocate some of the budget that rivals our federal government's budget to a drummer, please?
I'm on it.
Thank you. You can help us out with that if you go to mojo50.com and you click on shop right there, and then you will scroll down a little bit and you'll see the CBDs. And here is Ron, guy behind the glass, to tell you all about the CBDs.
No. I brought you the brochure. Read some of the brochure.
No.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Brown. That's what it says.
Read on the right side.
Oh. Not all CBD are created equal. Organically sourced and produced. Rigorous third-party tested. Full spectrum, pure and supercritical CO2 extracted. Physician recommended.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people asking about the CBD oil finally.
And now we're selling it.
And now we've got it on the website. This is from Dr. Kim Brown, the guys that do the Gut Check Project on Thursdays on Spoonie.
Can you tell me why he has a naked woman in his broshure?
Does
So
he?
that you would have something to
Is
look
that a
at.
naked woman?
That is a naked woman.
There's a naked woman in this brochure.
Oh, hold it up.
I don't know. Keeping this one to myself. But here's the thing about CBDs is that this is another one of those things that we are going to, I think, in a few years look back on and go, why the hell were we using those all along?
Why weren't we using those? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
Because, and again, it's tied to, it's tied somehow to the marijuana industry. So, it's bad. You're going to turn out to be, Satan-loving criminal. And thanks to things like Reefer Madness in the 60s, anything that had anything to do with cannabis or THC or any of that stuff, or hemp or any of that, we're climbing out of the fog of ignorance and finally seeing the benefits of these. With CBD oil, it treats inflammation, and you will find, just do a little, don't trust me, do some research. Find out what people are saying about CBD oils. The point here is that these are quality CBD oils. And because what Dr. Ken, and that's the other problem you have, is when you go online to buy CBD oil, you are faced with a sea of choices. So your only real decision-making tool is either, that one's got a pretty label on it, or you,
because you really don't know.
You have no idea. So with
But
Dr.
do you know
Brown,
that some pets, we actually give our pets CBD oil.
and that's the thing, we
and
trust
it
Dr.
helps.
Brown.
It helps actually a number of different things. A lot of people
You'll be better looking. It'll fix wonky. No, it doesn't fix
For
wonky.
legal
eyes.
reasons, I cannot say that it will make you better looking.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that CBD. My favorite thing about CBD oil is a little documentary that Lawrence Jones did at one point in time, where this guy was suffering from really bad seizures, and a little CBD oil stopped him from having the seizures. But then the law came.
Right.
And they were like, you can't have this because it's illegal.
I think CBD's legal in the country now, right?
It is now. Yeah.
Now, this isn't
at the time.
This
it
isn't marijuana, folks. This isn't THC.
Yeah.
No, that would be much more expensive, and I'd be pushing that much harder. No, it's the thing is, there's a stigma surrounding it. And it's going to take a couple of probably another maybe generation, if that long. Hopefully, information travels faster than that nowadays. It used to be that. Well, hell, look at going back to Prohibition and the teetotalers, and by God, if you touched alcohol, woo, you were sleeping with Satan.
Sleeping with Satan.
Which, by the way, is the title of my new autobiography.
Sleeping with Satan with Brad Staggs.
I'll just leave that one right there. So anyway, go to mojo50.com and click on shop, and then scroll down. You will see the CBDs. Take a look, do some research, and we work with and trust Dr. Brown, good, upstanding member of society. Doctor, he helped you with your guts over on Spoonie with the Gut Check Project as well. So try them out.
Brad?
Oh, yes.
You'll get on to me if I don't ask you this question. Will you be doing Friday leftovers today?
You know what? That is exactly why I love you so much. And yes, hit that.
And now, Doc Thompson presents the Friday Leftovers.
These are the great stories we did not get to earlier in the week, so we will get to them now.
Love you, buddy. Thanks
to guy behind the glass. No, I think you're absolutely right, and thank you. We'll start here. In a release published Monday morning, that would have been last week, the Livingston County Sheriff's Office reports that thieves broke in and stole a cash register from a Build-A-Burger restaurant, along with the establishment's entire surveillance system and a large bowl of macaroni salad.
What?
Yeah, deputies were hot on the criminals' trail, though. They attempted to escape via the nearby Greenway Trail. Found along the trail were cash register parts, surveillance system parts, rubber gloves, loose change, and a steady trail of macaroni salad.
Sounds like a pretty intense Friday night.
All right. Around my house. It was later discovered the suspects stole a large bowl of macaroni salad, which they took turns eating along their escape route.
Just like the idea. It's like, I don't trust you, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to abandon me and take all the macaroni salad for yourself.
Right?
Split it with me right now.
Honor among thieves.
We don't have the time to stop and split it. Well, then we'll eat it now on the run.
Well, thieving makes you hungry. You can't walk in and expect to steal. Cash registers, first of all, are heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And surveillance equipment is heavy. And you got to keep up you need those carbs.
You do.
Walking along the trail. Officers arrested Matthew P. Sepetko, James P. Marullo. The P stands for, come on, think of something fast. Hurry.
The P stands for
exactly
passivity.
Right. Thank you. And Timothy S. Walker Jr., not to be confused with Timothy S. Walker Sr. By early Sunday afternoon, they'd arrested all three. They've been charged with third-degree burglary, third-degree criminal mischief, and fourth-degree grand larceny. They've been booked into the Livingston County Jail. Most of the stolen property was recovered, except for the salad.
Well, they can wait a little bit and get it back, but it's not going to be the same.
It's especially if
it's been denatured a little bit.
Especially if they had it with the tapioca balls.
Yeah. Well, that's a crapshoot.
Yeah,
you never know.
Come on, I point at the damn drummer and he doesn't drum.
I know.
Pointing at him.
You need to fire him.
I'm telling you.
What was I going to say?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll just move on.
Yeah, move on.
Milton J. Hodges.
Milton J.
Hello, I'm Milton J. Hodges of Green Cove Springs. That would be in Florida. He robbed a Lowe's in Kissimmee, Florida, then escaped from security guards by breaking into the Cypress Cove Nudist Resort and Spa. They'll never catch me in here, coppers. You'll never find me in here. Once Milton was inside, he pulled out a knife and then stole a golf cart from a security guard. Wow, that's just
This is Grand Theft Auto, like the game right now. Like that's what's happening.
This is it's just not.
This is it being acted out in real life.
I would have expected more from Milton J. Hodges.
Milton J. Hodges.
You don't have a name like you don't break into nudist resorts and steal golf carts from security guards
when you could steal hearts.
Right. Be a lover, not a stealer.
Exactly.
The cops got there. They were easily able to spot Milton. Remember, he was was in a nudist resort, and
he wasn't blending in.
He was not blending in. It's funny you should mention that. He was the only one, as they call it in a when you go to a hotel that has, like in Jamaica. Was it Jamaica or Dominican? Whatever it was. There's a hotel that has both a nudist side and a clothing side.
Yeah.
And it's called the textile side.
Textile?
Yeah.
Textile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Or the nude and prude side. Either way.
I like that.
Yeah.
The prude.
So he was the only one who possessed the textiles, as it were. He was, in fact, arrested. Ted Hadley is Ted Hadley Ted Hadley is the owner of the nudist resort, which has been around for 48 years. He said, "We usually don't get the outside world coming through our gates like that. We don't get a lot of crime in the Cove." You know why they don't get a lot of crime in the Cove?
Why don't they get a lot of crime?
Yeah, you steal. Where the hell are you going to keep it? You steal stuff. Where do you put it?
That's true. It's true.
That's true. There is nowhere to put it. If you, it doesn't matter what you steal. Steal money. You steal paper money. Paper. You don't want a paper cut there.
You know, in this case, women really do have the advantage, I feel like.
Yeah, they have twice the storage space.
Yeah, they have a lot of storage space.
They do.
But I will say that it's really hard to steal, like to want to steal, really, when you're naked, I feel like.
Ever been to a nudist resort?
No, I haven't. I'm afraid to go to those nudist resorts.
Why?
Because I'm always under the impression that once I walk in, I'm not going to see, like, you know, the island of Lesbos, kind of like, oh, you walk in, there's like hot chicks just sitting around everywhere. It's like, hey, look at me. I'm a 20-year-old woman who is in really good shape. I'm very beautiful. And look, I'm completely nude. These are my friends.
Yes.
It's never like that. It's usually like, hi, my name is...
How are you?
My name is Flower.
I'm Helga.
Would you like to get a drink? I can pour you some sweet tea.
Well, first of all, you're assuming that it's all about sex. It's not. It's about...
I have to walk sideways to get through doors.
I don't even want to know why. But I was at one, and here's the funny thing. I've been to one. It was a hotel with, like I said, the nude side, and the funniest thing was when you stepped foot onto the nude side, they were like the clothing Nazis.
Really?
Oh, they were on you like stink. Yes, they were right there on you. You must be negative onto the. And but I mean, I get it. It was to keep the looky-loos from wandering. The pervs like. I was not like me. But first thing I wanted to do, I'll drop my clothes, drop of a hat.
Right.
Until somebody tells me to.
Yeah.
It's like, here, eat this chocolate cake, and I'm like, no. Tell him you're not a puppet.
That's right. I'll get naked for you, but I will not eat your chocolate cake.
Well, I might.
I actually get really weird about naked people serving me food.
Well, here's the weird thing that you meant. Now that you mentioned that, there was much better service on the nude side.
Really?
Yes. It was very odd because once you were Sun's Textiles, you realize it has nothing to do with sex.
Mm-hmm.
And B, it really does in a weird way strip down. Sorry, the societal barrier, because you realize, man, everybody is
right.
You're on level footing.
You're literally letting it all hang out.
It's weird. It's very difficult to explain, other than to say that it is. In some cases, humbling.
Maybe that's why I tend to not want naked people serving me food. It's because usually it's a sexual thing.
Well, no, and
I don't.
The people who serve, they aren't naked. Actually, that's the funny part. The staff is.
Well, I'm thinking more along the lines. Have you ever seen those the barely there bikini baristas?
Yeah, where? No, I don't think I have.
They were all over Reddit, but apparently those cafes are pretty popular in the UK or something, or Europe.
Right.
Various parts of Europe. And basically you drive up there, the coffee is complete crap, but the girls are wearing almost next to nothing, and you can pretty much it's not even hard to use your imagination at this point,
right.
Everything is hanging out and
right.
just parts are covered. Very little. And I'm like, I don't even know if I would want that. For and the girls are actually not bad looking either, but I still wouldn't. I don't know why. The idea that
it's it's pointless. It's what you do, sit there and ogle them. I mean,
and then I don't enjoy my coffee. It's
right. I'm kind of with you. I just don't understand I don't even understand really any more of the attraction of strip clubs. Damn, I sound old. I should just shut up, shouldn't I? I should just move on.
I don't like strip clubs either.
There was a time, and I'm not sure I ever really did.
I never have either.
I mean, I didn't ever. It's not like every Saturday night I was at a strip club, but
right.
I've
been to a few.
Yeah,
and every time I go in there, I leave and I smell it on me.
Which isn't horrible. I mean, some of them wear nice perfume, but
yeah, the women that I saw are typically not exactly really, this sounds horrible for me to say, but not really worth looking at.
You don't support single moms. How awful of you.
I just feel like, and it costs so much money.
That's it. That's the part anymore.
And I get really angry about the fact that I paid $15 for a beer.
And not a good one.
No.
It's like generic beer.
I think that's what pisses me off the most.
Yeah. No, it is proof that men are stupid. Yeah. And that we will, it's like, naked women, how much?
Yeah.
How much? I got a credit card. Here, just put, I don't have that much cash, but I think I got a higher limit on this card.
Jeff.
Handy J joins the crowd.
It looks like he's got something to say.
I doubt it.
Well, yeah, I do. I mean, Brandon, if you're disappointed with the ladies that you're seeing at the clubs you were going to the clubs that were, on the lower end.
I think maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is because the ones that I've been to all are around Galveston.
Galveston.
And
Galveston.
The closer you head to the island, like the lower the quality gets for the clubs.
Right.
And
yeah, that's the thing. Absolutely.
I bet in the middle of Houston you might find some like decent ones.
Smoking hot.
In
Houston,
is that the name of a
Dallas.
club?
No, I don't know. I never did any clubs.
Look, you go to Smoking Hot. Make sure that you're there around 9 p.m. on a Friday.
Right. Tell me that's not a great name for a strip club.
It's a great name.
Ask for Mercedes. All right.
Wait a minute. Okay, here. It's a strip club. It's a strip club that sells coffee.
Right.
It's the Steam and Cream.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. That's not a bad idea. The Steam and Cream.
There you go. You get cream in your coffee.
Because it's made with steam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Leicester, is it Leicester or Leicester?
Leicester,
them two. Police responded to Walmart. So you know it's going to be a high-end crime. On December 11th, that would be just a few months ago, after an employee found several electronic anti-theft devices that had been covered in a malleable clay-like toy in an apparent attempt to neutralize them. The attempt to disable the spider-wrap devices failed. The suspect had fled. He did, however, leave something behind in the Play-Doh.
Oh, God.
Can you guess exactly what the suspect left behind in the Play-Doh?
Oh, God.
Which led to their capture and arrest.
Is it what I think it is?
I don't know. What do you think it is that he left in the Play-Doh as he was trying to overcome the security feature on certain electronics that he was going to thieve off with?
Fingerprint.
Yeah, I'm just going to guess it's his fingerprint. Yeah.
Oh, wait, but you weren't going to say fingerprint, though. You were going to say something different.
Yeah, because he's starting to go back to the strip club era.
Yeah, because that's still kind of like floating around. You switched gears a little fast there for me, Brad.
Yeah, I know.
I was still, I got to keep up.
It's hard.
Yeah. Ding-a-ding.
That doesn't deserve a bell.
Yeah, well, that was low-hanging fruit. Damn, I didn't wear my low-hanging fruit shirt today. Sorry. Mississippi. Yes, in fact, you are both correct. The police announced Monday the Connecticut Forensics Laboratory matched the fingerprint left in said Play-Doh to the fingerprint of a known criminal with a long record, 55-year-old Dennis Jackson. Dennis Jackson, calling the game for you today. Touchdown.
So these criminals lately, I've noticed a pattern here, man. They're not exactly road scholars.
No, they are not. They are not by any stretch. By the way, they also discovered he had arrest warrants in at least 2 other states. So this guy is dumb nationwide.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
good for them.
I admire his dedication, I guess.
Yes, at least he was persistent. And persistence eventually pays off, or ends you up in prison, one of the two. Authorities say, try not to laugh, this is a serious story. Authorities say 2 Florida burglars thought that they were being clever when they used a blowtorch to break into an ATM machine.
Oh,
However,
this is great.
They were not.
Yes.
They were not.
No.
Okaloosa County Sheriff's officials say that video surveillance shows the 2 male suspects entering the boardwalk on Okaloosa Island Friday evening. One was armed with a crowbar and appeared to serve as the lookout. He would be the lookout with the crowbar. The other took the blowtorch to the ATM. I think this is where you would cue the music, like the Mission Impossible music. Dum 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 dum. Strikes up the blowtorch. And if you were going to, let's say, I don't know, you walk in, I'm gonna get into this blowtorch, into this ATM machine with a blowtorch. Where would you start using that blowtorch? Where? I mean, anywhere on that machine.
Anywhere on that machine?
Yeah. What would you do?
I would at least try to use it in the little fat front part because I feel like
We're talking about an ATM machine here, not a.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still at the strip club.
Sorry. Confuses easily.
Yeah. That the middle front part, because I feel like getting through that space is gonna be the
You really have no idea what you're talking about, do you?
Of course not.
Right.
Like most everything, I make it up as I go along,
Right.
Jeff.
It's
Where
pretty
have you
evident.
been, buddy?
I'm just saying,
Remember,
man.
the key to success is when asked a question you do not know the answer to, be vague and say it with conviction.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's all you have to do, and success will be right there in a puddle at your feet.
That's right. I would first, Brad, go through, in my expert opinion, the front carriage.
Thank you.
Which,
Thank you.
While,
Yes.
While many people believe that
Right.
it is heavily armored in the front there, it actually
you.
is not because of weight distribution necessary to keep the cash flowing upward in a smooth manner. So
Nice.
therefore,
But remember to be word economical. So you don't want to say too many words because then you get lost in a river of shit. So just, you stop somewhere at the many people think that it's well armored, but in fact that is the weakest point of an ATM machine. They just stop. Well, they started actually on the hinges.
Well, that's also very, I mean, saying
No,
hinges.
you don't want to start on the hinges because you know what you end up doing?
You
end up doing what these guys did.
What did they do?
You welded it shut.
They welded the ATM shut.
You're heating up the hinges. Part of that moves, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then guess
So then
what?
pretty much you just stuck it there.
Yes.
Huh.
You solidified it.
So they thought it was a cutting torch essentially, but it is not a cutting torch.
Right. It wasn't one of the, like on Star Trek where Scotty comes up with the the little phaser, just cuts right neatly through the door and pops
No
it
lie,
open.
I would have thought the same thing. I would have thought that too, that it would cut it, not weld it.
Well, there's that. Yeah, they welded the ATM shut. They didn't get any money, and since they were on video surveillance, they don't know if they've been caught yet. But there's a decent shot that they
I
will.
feel like the cops should have showed up at their house and been like, "Hey, that was embarrassing, huh?" Yeah.
When we brought along a blowtorch expert to teach you a few things. Try not doing that. But again, they are in Florida.
We think your embarrassment's enough here.
Yeah, and we'd like you to leave Florida now because we have enough issues with Florida Man. As it is, we don't need two more idiots adding to the legend. Those are your Friday leftovers, and given this is Friday, I don't know, you know what? You might not hear them next week because I think we're on Newsmax next week. We're supposed to be on there today, but that's a long story too. This, however, is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The United States standing by its claim that Iran is responsible for recent attacks on shipping in the Persian Gulf region. The Pentagon out with a video that it says shows members of Iran's Revolutionary Guard removing an unexploded mine from a ship near the Strait of Hormuz. Its video, the U.S. says, shows that Iran was trying to get rid of the evidence of its misdeeds. Iran denies any involvement. President Trump says he hopes we haven't heard the last of his outgoing press secretary, Sarah Sanders, to leave the White House the end of the month.
She's going to be going back to Arkansas with her great family. Her husband is a fantastic guy and her family. And I don't know, Phil and folks, if we can get her to run for the governor of Arkansas, I think she'll do very well. And I'm trying to get her to do that.
Sanders originally served as a deputy press secretary when the Trump administration came into office. Couple of the suspects in the shooting of a former Boston Red Sox star in the Dominican Republic may be tied to crimes in the U.S.
Prosecutors in New Jersey say a bench warrant on armed robbery and gun charges has been issued for the man who authorities in the Dominican Republic say pulled the trigger in the shooting of former Red Sox slugger David Ortiz. This, as a Pennsylvania prosecutor says he believes another suspect in the shooting is wanted for attempted murder in the Keystone State. Ortiz, who was shot in the back at a bar in the Dominican Republic Sunday, continues to recover following multiple surgeries at a hospital in Boston. I'm Matt Small.
Americans stepped up their spending last month. Commerce Department says retail sales rose 0.5% in May, following a smaller gain of 0.3% in the previous month. On Wall Street, Dow futures down 52 points, NASDAQ futures off 45, S&P futures down 6 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
Having an extra supply of food on hand is just smart. Some people call it prepping. I call it smart. You never know what's going to happen in this world. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. You'll find out a lot of good reasons to have that food and some great prices. mypatriotsupply.com.
A former Democratic National Committee member told Politico on Monday that he will become National Senior Advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9.
Mojo 50.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. That's 800-218-6473.
This is the Mojo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
The mothership has landed.
Tony on a boat tweeted using the hashtag What I Learned Today at the Brandon Morris Kind of Club. I've been there, and believe me, these comments are accurate. And this is a, what's the lounge? He attached a...
I like it. It says, this is the filthiest, most nasty dive bar in the city of Detroit.
Doesn't that describe
This is a
all of
stripper's
the,
last resort before she ends up working the streets for car dates. The girls are all drug addicts and spend half the time in the bathroom.
And they have a downside.
I love the fact that it says it's not child friendly.
You know, and it's sad to even have to put that on the club because, and this is true with like Fantasy Fest in Key West. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that there are people down there who bring their kids.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing?
I have no idea, but they'll pose their kids with these, half, and not that there's anything wrong with naked people. I don't, whatever. But it's just weird to me that Fantasy Fest is more of a fantasy, which would
right
talk. You'd be more down the sexual line than you would at a nudist colony. And people are taking pictures of their kids with it. It's weird.
I don't understand why people bring their kids to pride parades. Can I just say that? Because especially lately, like, have you seen some of the footage coming out of the pride parades lately?
I have not, but apparently you have.
It's been like weird. So like one of the first ones that I saw happened in DC, and it was a bunch of women. They found a cop car, and they just decided to start twerking on it, like climbing up onto it. They circled around it, like and I mean, like they're just going crazy on this cop car.
All village people on it.
Yeah, it's I didn't get it, but like, and then like you have like these pictures of these dudes, like they're basically wearing absolutely nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing. I mean, it's like the nudist colony at a freaking pride parade. They just show up naked. And there's
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love to look at a naked. Wait a minute,
dude. But like, you know, there's like children standing around. They're just standing right next to them, and I'm like, y'all.
Yeah.
What the absolute? If this was any other kind of parade, this dude would be arrested, taken to jail.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, like, just exposing themselves to children. It's cool because now they're getting their children involved. It's like, why don't you dress up in a freaking jorts?
What's the kid's name that does the drag queen show?
Desmond is
there
amazing.
You go. That's right there.
That kind of stuff right
that
there.
That would be child abuse right
there.
It
is child
folks.
abuse. I don't care what anybody says. That nonsense is child abuse. That is freaking sexualizing a child and expecting them to dance provocatively. And by the way, I don't know if you guys remember this, but he was at he's an 11-year-old kid dancing at a gay bar at 2 a.m., dressed as Gwen Stefani to I Am Just a Girl, as people threw money at him while he danced.
And not the time I did it, the time the kid did it, right?
Right. Well, when you do it, it's cute.
Exactly.
When he does it, it's
when
disgusting.
I dressed as Gwen Stefani, you haven't seen anything like it.
Right.
By the way, I got a text from Lori D last night that I didn't see until this morning. She says, I hate you. I'm watching Game of Thrones. Remember how vocal she was sitting in here? No, not that time. The time when she was sitting here with us. Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she was the one who was like the most against it. The only other one that I knew was that against it was Gator, I think it was. But yeah,
I'm telling you, and I never would have guessed prior to when I started watching it that I would have ever watched it.
The same thing goes for everybody else because when you look at it, it is a fantasy series, and people like, I don't watch that nerd stuff, and then you start watching, you're like, oh God, I am.
If you get
really
right down to it, anything other, and even including reality shows, they're all fantasy series
at the end
by
of the day,
definition.
You pretty much are watching fantasy no matter what, people.
Anyways, with that, I thought we'd bring into Netflix and Chill Fridays.
Yeah,
it is
Netflix
Friday.
and Chill.
So go ahead and roll the jingle for Netflix, and here we go with a jingle for Netflix and
Chill. It's chilling with Ron and Brad.
Brandon's
talking
here too.
about
Movies.
Brandon's here too, and they're talking about shows and movies.
That sucks.
Netflix and Chill.
That's
and we need one that goes like Netflix and Chill.
Except good.
Yeah, only better than that.
All right. Who wants to start?
Actually, I am going to not start.
You're passing.
I'm passing
to
for now.
Ron. Ron, you start. You want to start?
No, Brad, you can start.
The hell, which means you guys have nothing to add, is what you're saying.
Actually, I do. I just got to remember what it is.
All right, I'll start.
You found it.
Because I haven't actually. Well, I haven't actually. I haven't heard anyone say this yet.
Okay.
But we talk about it from time to time.
Floofle snurf.
But I started getting back into it, and I figured, why not? Black Mirror.
Okay. See?
So Black Mirror is, I guess, I don't want to call it like a horror.
No, it's a
show.
It's a dystopian view of the future.
I wouldn't even say dystopian. I would say something along the lines of
cautionary tale.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, it talks about how technology may progress, how it might progress, and what it might do to humanity. And to be honest with you, I have to take some of it very seriously, because if you were to go back 30 years from where we are right now and say that in the future we would all be tied to little black boxes that shared where we voluntarily offered up every single bit of information about our lives, and it causes us mass depression, mass anxiety, and we cannot put it down, I'd be like, man, that sounds like a horrible future.
Yeah.
I really want to avoid that.
Yeah. It would make, it would, if you had any common sense.
Right. But we didn't have that kind of information. We didn't have that kind of thought. We had Orwell, who really kind of spelled stuff like that out.
Yeah, it was science fiction.
But I would say we live in a combination Orwell-Huxley future. But I think that honestly, what we live in right now could be a Black Mirror episode from 30 years ago if it was airing then. I think that right now any episode of Black Mirror that you watch is a very possible thing to be. It's the last one I watched was a guy who could rewind his time. Like they implant his memory in the back of his
I think
ear.
it's called The History of You.
Yes, that's actually that episode. And that one, I could see that happening where like you go through security checkpoints and they're like, okay, could you rewind 24 years or 24 hours of your life, please? Okay, now rewind a week's worth.
Yeah.
And I want to see
who
have you been talking to? What have you been doing?
Or
like
you
everything.
come home one night to the wife, the little lady, and she's like, I want to see the
yeah, exactly.
replay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how it works out. The other one was and this is already happening in China. This one really freaked me out.
They
I
have
think it was
little
starring
chips in people's heads in China.
No, Dallas Bryce Howard was the lead of this one.
Oh, the
It's the rating system. So essentially, you know how everyone like Yelp, you could Yelp a business. You know, it's like, oh, I give it 5 stars. Imagine being able to do that to people.
Well, technically, you can. Uber drivers.
Well, I'm talking about just everyday citizens.
No, I'm saying, but I'm what?
Oh no,
but it's already here. It's just how soon is it going to be spreading to the rest?
Right now, it just applies to like a business, a person doing a business. But now it applies like in this particular story, it applies to everyday people and interactions. So let's say that you meet someone on the street, you have a nice conversation, you can give them 5 stars for who they are. Now that sounds like, oh, that's not that big of a deal, right? That sounds like a fun app, you know, but they tie it into basically how everyone interacts in everyday life with like businesses and public transportation and everything. So that if you are, let's say that you're like, you have 3.5 stars, they can deny you because in order for you to be able to ride this this government transportation or use this service from a business, you must have 4. You know, imagine being at a point where like you are a 2-star person because you're just massively unpopular. And
it's another aspect of discrimination.
Right. They also did something very similar on, if you ever watched The Orville. In The Orville, like, you know, a person becomes so unpopular that they actually have to go to court.
I haven't seen this season, but there was the...
Oh, no, I think that was the first or second season. I think it's the second season.
Okay, yeah, so that episode you're referring to, the planet that they beamed down to.
Right.
Yeah, that
but
one.
So my point is that Black Mirror is probably one of the most... I want to say that is really disconcerting. Raider.
I know, yeah.
It's probably one of the most scariest. It's way scarier than any horror movie because it could actually happen. And we can see it happening.
Well, and I tell you where it does happen right now with in real life is eBay.
Yeah.
eBay, you can rate, you give a feedback rating.
Right.
But here's the thing. You can't, as a seller, you can't give a buyer a negative feedback review. As a buyer, you can give a seller a negative feedback review, and the buyer, you can respond to it, but that's it. It doesn't. You can't get it. So you are affected by the up or down on eBay, and you get a hold of a psycho buyer, which I've had a little experience with, and they can certainly make life uncomfortable.
The problem, this is one of the things that scares me about the calls to make social media utility, is that something like that could be implemented.
Yes.
At first, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. It's like, hey, you know, this is just a fun way to talk about how but think about it. Like, let's say that you and I, libertarians, become insanely unpopular as libertarians do.
As opposed to the fact we're just insanely unpopular as humans.
People just give me a 1 star because they don't like the fact that I said, you know, X trend right now, you know, the mob's trend right now is not good. It's not, I don't like it. And here's why. They don't want a reason. They just be like, oh, well, this guy's an ass. I'm going to give him 1 star. So suddenly I've got 1 stars across the board. Now imagine we live in a world where the government starts taking these things seriously. Hate speech. You know, I'm guilty of hate speech. I didn't really say anything hateful. Doesn't matter.
They just didn't agree.
I just didn't agree.
Right.
But so I'm known for hate speech. I'm known for what else are they? Homophobia, transphobia. I become a pariah. And people don't want to do business with me for fear that if they do business with me in any way, shape, or form,
your stank will rub off on them.
Exactly. Suddenly this becomes like a legitimate way to ostracize people from society. And that's something that was the concept of a Black Mirror episode, the one with Dallas Bryce Howard. It's freaking crazy.
It's a great series,
Yeah.
and if you I recommend it too. It's just really good.
Yeah.
And Ron has been dabbling in it, so
Yeah.
where did he go? Is he guy behind the wall right now?
I recommend that you take it slow when you watch this series, though, and like really like watch an episode or two and maybe just ponder. The very first episode we saw was the one where the guy the UK politician had to have sex with the pig to save the princess. That was crazy.
Yes.
Like we were disturbed.
But again, these are all I can see them happen. And the one where they were getting they had to go out and do something, otherwise the video that had been recorded of them doing something on their computer was going to be released to all their contacts.
Yeah.
That's happened.
Yeah.
That's what's it called? It's sextortion. So that's already happening.
Man, yeah, it's a
Black Mirror.
scary series. Scary.
So is Ron guy behind the glass, behind the glass anywhere? Did he?
He ain't paying attention. Nobody.
He's not in there. It's just Raider in there.
It's Raider.
Raider, hell, you're probably more entertaining than Ron is. So you got any suggestions for Netflix and chill?
Well, the most recent show I watched was called Ruby.
Oh, Ruby! Yeah,
Ruby.
It's by Rooster Teeth.
I love Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
Those are my boys.
It's about these group of teenagers that are essentially becoming huntresses and hunters to fight the world of Remnant against the Grimm.
Wait a minute, what's it called? Called Ruby?
It's called RWBY. Yeah.
RWBY?
Yep. It's made by
that'd be Ruby.
So it's an animated series. It was originally made with this one guy who died midway through making it.
Yeah, I think season 3 he passed away.
Yep. And it's really interesting to watch. So if you're into action animated series that kind of border on being anime-ish, it's for you.
The action scenes in the show are
top notch.
Where is it? Is it on Netflix or
you can get it? You can watch season 1 through 5 on Amazon, and then season 6 it's broken up into segments on Rooster Teeth itself.
And if you're into something a little bit more less anime, but still like has all the cool action scenes and the comedy, Red versus Blue is classic.
See, I always have a problem with being motivated to watch something that is animated.
Mm-hmm.
But once I do, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's weird because my natural instinct, and I have no idea why, is it's anime. I don't know. But then I watch because I loved King of the Hill.
Yeah. Family Guy, The Simpsons, South Park.
I've never really gotten into the Family Guy. I've never really gotten into The Simpsons, although I've watched a few.
Mm.
But there was another animated one that I remember thinking, oh man, but like the South Park movie.
Yeah,
love that.
Bigger, longer, and
yeah. Which I don't know why my natural first reaction is to go.
Yeah.
I
think it's because your generation was raised like it's cartoons, it's for kids.
MF, did you just call me old?
Yes, I did. And
Get off my lawn.
My generation is like it's like cartoons. Everything is animated now.
So you guys never just really grew up, is what you're saying? So the rest of us grew up, and you guys didn't.
We are the children of Neverland.
Man, that's funny. No, I didn't. I guess it's just some people don't like rom-coms. Some people don't like, whatever it is, whatever genre you're maybe not into. I mean, some people like that stuff from the 70s.
Yeah. Like Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah. Oh, Schoolhouse Rock rocks.
Because it's Schoolhouse Rock.
Because it's Schoolhouse Rock. Well, Raider, good for you. Thank you for the contribution. When Ron, guy behind the glass, really is, I don't know what he's doing, but obviously it's more important.
He's playing with the computer.
Yeah, it's more important. I can totally understand that. I am going to suggest today, and this is kind of an oldie but a goodie, but if you've not watched Breaking Bad, so far I've run into 2 or 3 people who said I've never seen it, never seen an episode.
Yeah,
Breaking Bad has now been off the air for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's 5 or 6, and so it's one of those shows where. It's a morality tale, but it is it was groundbreaking in the way that they shot it, in the way that they told the story, in the way that just the technology that they used, and the story. You've seen it, right? I mean, you've watched.
I've watched, I think, 3.5 seasons.
Why'd you stop?
I just wasn't grabbing me for some reason. I know that sounds horrible for me to say because
Really?
everyone loves it, but for some odd reason, midway through the season, I was just like,
I think what it is your generation just doesn't understand the.
It's my generation that made this damn show popular. Ass.
See what I did there? I turned the whole thing around.
I like the fact that it's like y'all shit on millennials so much, but like the fact is,
when did I shit on a millennial? That didn't cost me
your
$20.
generation shits on millennials.
It's not
pretty
my
much
generation.
all the time.
Well, that's you can't blame me for that.
Yeah, I can.
I didn't start it.
You didn't start the fire?
Yes, it's always been burning. Since the world's been turning. Just saying. No, I don't think all of you are
That's
lazy.
a Billy Joel joke.
Right. He's a singer.
He plays the piano.
Back in my generation.
Back in my day, Billy Joel was the most famous person alive.
We liked it that way.
He had pianos and we were happy.
By the way, if you ever go to a Billy Joel concert, if he's still touring, it's funny because his concert is him and a piano. And at the beginning of it, he goes, so if you're looking for a stage show, this is it. He said the piano, because it was on a turntable.
Yeah.
Piano turns this way. And then it turns this way. And that's it.
He's always kind of had that attitude about him because if you ever watch clips of him back in like maybe it was the 60s or 70s or something like that when he was first really getting started.
Angry young man.
He really was. And I still think he's an angry man today.
Yes,
like if you actually, he's a nice guy, but he's angry about it. Like it's crazy.
Remember, in his words, as he sits there, he says, I know you thought you were respecting Billy Joel and you got his father instead. Remember, it's not about having hair. It's about getting more head. Raider, have you seen Breaking Bad?
I have not.
Why?
I think it has to do with the drug thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it doesn't sit well with me.
Have you ever seen an episode of it? Do you know why he is making methamphetamine? Crystal meth, rather.
No.
It's because he has cancer and he's trying to find a way to make money for his family.
Oh.
He's a high school science teacher. So chemicals is the only thing he knows. And he runs into Jesse, a student who was kind of a dropout, really. And he enjoys teaching, and he ends up with this father-son relationship almost with Jesse. It's a love-hate thing. And he figures he can make meth after he's like, how much do they get for this stuff? He says, but and his idea is we're going to make the purest meth. We're not using it with
chili powder.
Right.
Yeah.
So he sets out to make the purest meth that is possible. It turns out to be a very popular
Sky
drug.
blue.
Yeah.
And
So-
it's a really interesting concept, and I do love the concept. I like the fact that he
held your interest for 3.5 seasons.
I like the fact that he used his knowledge of chemistry to basically become a drug lord. It's and like even not just in the way of making meth, but like fighting back at people. Like the fact that he was able to mix chemicals and blow people up was awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
And his wife, who really is she's not the moral center, but she certainly is in the right to begin with. People hated her.
I do.
The fans hated her.
I can't stand her.
For some reason, I was the same way because here she's just a total biatch in this thing toward Walter White.
Yeah.
When he is out there truly killing people, making illegal drugs, and she's coming down on him, and people are all over. It's a weird dynamic. I'm telling you, I think you'd like it.
It gets annoying every time she came on screen, I was like, I'm done. Like
She was irritating. Then she went through her fat phase, and she did actually. She was on some. Ironically, I think she was on some drug that made her puffy.
Oh, really?
The actress was Anna Gunn.
Oh.
So,
but yeah, she annoyed me, and I think she's actually one of the reasons I stopped watching is just because she became more involved.
Right.
I think in season 3 because I don't want to give spoilers, but
you can give it's been off for 6 years, so I think spoilers are fair
she
game.
eventually finds out because he hides it from her for forever, and she eventually finds out, and then she's like, okay, well now I'm involved, and that's when it became.
Yeah, it's
really annoying to watch.
It's kind of like when Dexter on Netflix, when Jimmy Smits joined the cast and wanted to be a serial killer too. Like, it's kind of like when the kid on the Brady, remember Cousin Oliver?
Yeah.
That's when it.
Things start going downhill. And if you have an annoying character, the last thing you want to do is give them more screen time.
Right.
And that's exactly what they did in Breaking Bad. And I think that's one of the reasons I stopped watching.
Well, it lasted 5 seasons. I'm a big fan of Vince Gilligan. He was a X-Files writer and producer. And so that's Raider. If you want to be one of the cool kids, go watch it.
I've been planning on it, but then when I get home, I keep forgetting to pull it up. And I was like,
I've realized
I got other things that I'm watching.
Got to reorganize my sock drawer. I've got to clean out underneath the sink. I know. Believe me, I get it.
I got to take care of my truck, man.
Is that a euphemism?
And well, no. And my weapons.
Could be. Is that a euphemism?
Maybe.
There's a euphemism in there somewhere.
I mean, I did just come out of the bush. So
That's what she said.
By the way, Loaf, go ahead.
I was going to say, I've got one more since we've got 2 minutes left. And this is just a quick one.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's
time for a quickie with Brandon.
Time for a quickie. If you haven't seen it yet, I would recommend watching Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I keep seeing, I think I've seen ads for that.
It's made from a graphic novel, which is...
You mean a comic book?
No, Brad, that's not what I mean. But it's directed by a guy named Edgar Wright, who might be one of my all-time favorite directors now.
Yeah.
He also directed Baby Driver. I don't know if you saw that movie.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, so it's basically like if you are a gamer at all, or if you just like a solid action movie with a funny plot, and it is a funny plot, then Scott Pilgrim is pretty much one of the most perfectly crafted movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I think it's so underrated. It's got Michael Cera as the lead.
I like him.
Yeah, it's got Captain America as one of the bad guys. The entire premise is Scott Pilgrim falls in love with this girl, and he has to fight her 7 evil exes in order to date her. It is a video game premise beyond belief, but it is so amazing. The animation, the action is, and it's not completely animated. There is animation in it. But it's like watching a live video game play out, and I have to say that it's probably one of the few video game movies I have ever actually said is good. It is perfect. It is the perfect movie.
F and Florida Man suggests, and I agree, Longmire on Netflix, fabulous, and they ended it at the right time, and with the perfect finale scene. Probably the most perfect. I don't know. Breaking Bad was good too, but yeah, definitely Longmire on Netflix as well. This is your Daily Mojo.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. Mojo 50.
Raise your hand if you've heard of Andrew Yang before. I'm guessing most of you haven't put your hands up. Well, Yang is running to be our next president with the Democratic Party, and in plenty of media circles, he's seen as a visionary for the party and the country. Judging by the polls, though, Yang's not doing so hot. But since the media love the man who champions a universal basic income, warns us of the coming apocalypse of automation, and generally talks in grand visionary speech, I thought it prudent to take a look into what makes him a darling of the left. I didn't have to look too far, though, thanks to Vox, of all places. It turns out they were just as curious, and it turns out that Yang's life in the private sector is about as full of holes as is his vision for the country. You see, Yang spent 6 years at the helm of a nonprofit called Venture for America, where its mission is to revitalize cities and poor neighborhoods through venture capital and startups. His goal of Venture for America was to create 100,000 jobs by 2025. So, how has it worked out? According to Recode and Vox, VFA has created fewer than 4,000 jobs to date. Furthermore, nearly half of the organization's fellows, which were placed in cities Yang wanted to target for revitalization, no longer have their companies in said cities. Heck, only 2,500 people applied for positions with VFA on a yearly basis, according to the article. There are only 800 total fellows creating the program, both alumni and currently active. That's not good news when you wanted to create 100,000 jobs in just 15 years' time. Why did Yang fall short? Robots. Yes, Yang is on record saying he left VFA because he realized that startups could never create enough jobs to replace those that robots will displace. It all adds up to a man that's more Trump-style braggart and brand maker than the results-driven Robin Hood the media makes him out to be. I'm Andrew Coppins. This has been By the Numbers, and you can follow me on the socials at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative cell phone company offering super reliable nationwide service, donating a portion of their profits to organizations fighting for our conservative values. Call 1-800-A-PATRIOT or visit patriotmobile.com.
Daily Mojo.
There were some other suggestions for Netflix and chill, but other than the one where Whiskey Six and I are about to spoon. Where'd they all go? There it is. Longmire books, according to Smacking Duck, Longmire books are awesome. The show is good, but the books are great. That's usually the case. That the books, because they can go into more detail. And it's like, and I watched that on 3 Days of the Condor with Robert Redford and Faye Dunaway.
I didn't know that Longmire was a book.
Yeah, Longmire was a series of books.
You know what I didn't find out? Have you ever watched Lonesome Dove?
I've seen it. I've seen pieces of it. My dad loved it.
My dad did too, and I never got it. And then like 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I sat down and I watched Lonesome Dove, and it is brilliant.
See,
it's brilliant. And then like they say that now like it's a book, and now like okay, well now I want to download the audiobook just so I can drive and listen. But I'm apparently it's one of the most like it's so underrated and it's super pivotal.
I could just make some recordings of me just talking, and you could put those in you could listen to me just yammering for, whenever you drive.
Why do that when I can just stand next to you for like 5 minutes and get enough of it?
So we're going to move on to suspicious. Oh, hang on.
Oh, wait. Did we?
Hang on.
We haven't.
Attention, all units. We have a report of a suspicious package at 6125 Airport Freeway.
Wow.
I believe Whiskey Six and the gang put that together.
Well done, Whiskey Six and the gang.
See?
Well done.
See, they do love you.
So we do have a little suspicious package, plethora going on here. The first one, I'm going to have to, it came with a note. I'm going to read it. Hello from Maryland's Eastern Shore. I like that. Didn't give me a city or anything like that. They gave me a majestic landscape.
Smart.
That's how you start out a letter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Raider just say, yeah, but it's Maryland.
I thoroughly enjoy watching the Suspicious Package Friday and Monday, and have been thinking about what I can send you. I wanted to send Chesapeake Bay blue crab. Their legs don't get stuck in your throat.
Hold on.
That was a reference to the crickets we ate the other day. But they would be very fragrant by the time you receive them. Instead, and we'd had trouble with fragrance last time. Instead, I have
Flock of seagulls fall.
Dude. Falling coming in. Mine.
Sorry.
Instead, I have sent a variety of items. 1, reflection of me. 2, obvious. And 3, something to relax with on the Mojo River. And 4, in case you come up empty while relaxing on the Mojo River, you will still have something to brag about. 5, a measuring tape to make sure yours is bigger. Sorry, Brad. I wanted to add chocolate, but it's too effing hot.
Right.
Thank you for making my mornings enjoyable, but I'm still mad at Doc for going on vacation.
Right.
I miss him. I wish he would come home.
Not nearly as pissed as I am, but that's all right.
All the best, the Happy Owl or Karen, but not that Karen.
Karen, right? She was paying attention.
Sure enough, I'm reaching in here. Look at this. We've got.
Well, no, so you reach in, and Raider, you describe what he pulls out.
Yeah. Go ahead, Raider.
Swing that over. Come on. What'd he pull out? What'd he pull out? What is it?
He pulled out a plush monkey.
Which?
Very happy.
It's a code monkey.
See?
See, I forgot the reference.
No, you didn't. No, you're doing good. You're doing good. All right.
Don't doubt yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I doubt myself all the time. Ooh, measuring tape to measure how long he is.
That's right. And he is officially
the monkey. Brandon's measuring the monkey right now.
Is it metric or standard?
Damn it.
standard.
Damn it. You know what? That's the thing about metric. Oh.
It's always bigger.
Yes. It's the beauty of it.
We got an owl.
That's not.
It's not a snowy owl.
You know, it wasn't wise.
It's a gray
sending
spotted
that.
owl.
It's a great
Horn.
horned owl.
It's a horny owl.
Yes.
I was a lineman in high school.
For the county. Oh, that is a pole. You got yourself a pole.
That is a legitimate fishing pole, bro.
That is a.
And it's pink.
And it's pink.
It'll look good on you.
Wow, this is actually
Got a hook on there?
It's a legit fishing pole.
Well, that's what we're going to be doing on the banks of the Mojo River. Well, see, and the beauty of it is instead of having to rely on the grizzlies reaching out and smacking the salmon. Because when they smack the salmon out of the way, the ones they don't catch, they smack them to us. We can now catch them.
That's right.
Might piss off the grizzlies.
Well, we don't want to piss off.
Don't piss off the grizzly.
They walk now like people.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
And so we don't need that on our.
No.
Let's
No,
see.
we don't.
We also have
Bubble wrap.
here.
Keep the bubble wrap for Brad.
I love bubble wrap.
This is Brad's heaven right here. We've got something in these.
I want you guys to swap the microphone here when you're that way we can.
Yeah. So we've got. Let me see here. Oh wow! Look at that. Dory.
I remember swimming. Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep. That's the best message. And I like that animated movie. I loved it. I mean,
Yeah.
and I loved both of them. And
There was a story.
Toy Story is
There
great.
was a story about how Ellen
Yeah.
went to a cancer ward,
Yeah.
and this little girl who had cancer had pushed through. What they basically told her she was going to die, and she said, "What gave you the strength to pull through?" And she goes, "A fish told me to just keep swimming."
There you go.
And I was
It's
like,
great advice.
Here's Nemo with his
His disability, his
disability.
Doesn't
And
swim in a circle.
there's another note here. It looks like it's wrapped in something. It says, "Careful opening." Oh, here's how we die.
Aha.
Here's-
So
here it is.
This is how we end.
This is it.
This is the end of the story. Hold on.
It's probably white powder again.
God, I hope not.
I've dreamt of being a boom operator all my life, and now I are one. By the way, if this hits you in the face, it's going to hurt.
Oh, oh, wow, yeah.
Wow, if that hits you in the face, that's going to
That
hurt
would
too.
suck. So-
That would draw a lot of blood.
So that was an actual fishing lure, or hook, I should say. Yep. And then the rest of this is
That's a lure and a hook.
packaging.
Yes. I'm telling you, I was the kid at Christmas who would open the box and just sit there and play with the wrapping, which explains so much.
Karen, thank you so much. That was amazing. I love the monkey.
Hold on.
The owl is cool, but the monkey, man, the monkey.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, there. Thank you.
Let's see. We've got one here. Oh, Watkins, the king.
The king
emperor
of the. You know what? And where are the rest of the pieces for the puzzle?
They are in there. Actually,
So we have
Collect
saved them.
all.
So when we do get the one with the X and X marks the spot where he has hidden $1 million.
Oh yeah, we're gonna find it once it's all once all the pieces are
right.
together here. Oh, what is this? Bank of the Ozarks. You have a friend here.
No, see, no longer is it Bank of the Ozarks. They renamed themselves.
Oh, what they
It is
named
now
it to?
Bank OZK.
Oh, really?
Which I don't know why they did it, but it was about the time that, and that was the other one I was going to mention for Netflix and Chill was Ozark. We'll get to that next week. But I think it was something about the fact they didn't want to be Bank of the Ozark because it sounds. And now they're Bank OZK, which to me looks like a cartoon.
So Watkins was trying to make it seem like there was money in here, and sure enough, he writes, ha 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 ha. I'm sorry, that was mean. Ha 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 ha. But there is something nice on the way soon, he says. Yeah.
And
So
by nice, he means you won't feel it for a second. It'll just
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that would actually be kind of nice.
You know what? If you get the money that Angry Beaver sent, which could land her in federal prison, but it's all right. That if he had done that in there,
oh, that would have been horrifyingly horrible. Oh God,
good.
Oh God,
what?
Watkins.
What do you do? Is it glitter? Is it the herpes of the
Oh
craft
no,
world?
it's he decided that he was going to.
Oh, it's wet, isn't it?
No, he took a
Is it
hole
moist?
puncher, and he just hole punched the holy hell out of a piece of paper and put it all in here.
It's glitter.
It's thick glitter.
Confetti.
Yeah, let's
technically.
say it that.
But no, there's glitter in there too because I can see it sparkling in the light. He sent you herpes.
Random crap from my job. Oh, from random crap from Thanos. He says. This is amazing.
Is that Spider-Man?
Said bad news, Brandon. Apparently Thanos thought there were too many puzzle pieces in the world. Hope you didn't get too excited about building that puzzle. You son of a bitch! Are you not sending the rest of the puzzle?
Well, did he? Is it just empty?
Are you screwing with me, Watkins?
Hold on, swing that over.
It's the actual confetti.
Well, so the puzzle is the confetti, or the confetti is the puzzle?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Hang on, there's something else here.
This is how it ends. This is how it ends. All right, he's opening an envelope. Right here, this is your job. You're supposed to be describing what he's doing.
Opening envelope slowly.
Deep reach.
Sticks his hand deeper into it.
Oh, yeah.
Pulls out a bottle cap.
Dogfish Ale beer.
In here it says...
You guys suck at sharing a microphone.
Oh, shut up, Brad. He's new at this. Random crap from my job. Just kidding. You can have the rest, but I'm going to need you to send me an Odyssey sticker for my car. He's holding it hostage until you send him an Odyssey sticker. The Mojo 50 and Spoonie stickers need their friends. When I get my sticker, you'll get your puzzle pieces.
Oh.
Travis Watkins, still Lord of the Suspicious Package universe.
Ron, guy behind the wall, if he's in there at all, is, do we have Odyssey stickers? Or is it a possibility? Or is he, Ron's not listening, is he?
He died.
I think he did.
Oh, he's alive!
I'm alive. What?
Odyssey stickers. Do we have any?
We don't have any Odyssey decals.
All right. Well,
that's
then,
not to say that we can't create some and get some.
Why would we want to do that?
Let me get right on that.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, what would you do that
Come
for?
Come on, man.
What would you do that for?
What is it you bitch about? There's just so much going on. At least I work here all day. Uh-oh.
Huh. Oh, boy. Really? You want to battle of wits on this one today? Come on.
I do not.
You don't want to swing swords with me, do you? What? I see it because I have a real sword in here.
Okay, so
thanks to Raider.
Raider brought us a sword, but
Yes,
that's
he
not the
did.
sword.
No, that's right.
When Brad offers to sword fight you, what he really means.
Yes, I do. By the way, Suspicious Package Friday brought to you by the fine folks at the Rich Solution, who let you know that low fruit and vegetable intake may indeed account for millions of deaths. I'm not kidding. The findings from a new study suggest inadequate consumption of fruits and vegetables may be a major factor in heart disease death. How's that make you feel?
Scared. I'm terrified.
You should be terrified. Fruits and vegetables, as we know, rich in vitamins, fiber, potassium, magnesium, antioxidants. We're not eating right. None of us ever eat right. So it's the thing about it is, if you want to take good care of yourself, I would recommend you go to therichsolution.com and not only find out about the supplements that you will find there, you'll also find Gwen Rich's story. Read about her. You'll find out, and if you go to their Facebook group, the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge, you'll find out how you can lead a healthier lifestyle, maybe lose some weight, have a good time. Enjoy life while you're here, because we're all only here for a little while. Isn't that the truth? TheRichSolution.com. Now back to you in the studio.
It's now time to open the package from Wetzel in Indiana.
Sure.
Wetzel?
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 Would you like to Wetzel?
Wetzel? Wetzel. $20, same as downtown.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are trying to open this package.
This
right
portion
now.
of Suspicious Package Friday brought to you by PatriotMobile.com/Mojo50. If you need a what?
Hey, what's up?
We
What's
talked
up,
on it
Matt?
so much. We had the sponsor from last half hour. We still got to get in here. Go to PatriotMobile.com/Mojo50 and be part of the solution, not part of the problem. They are actually that's a nice wax seal. Well, go to PatriotMobile.com/Mojo50. Conservative cell phone company. Every month they give a portion of the bill that you pay them to conservative and libertarian causes. Unlike those other big cell phone companies. That's PatriotMobile.com/Mojo50. Now back to you in the studio.
This is addressed to resident carbon-based life forms, and it is actually sealed.
This portion of Suspicious Package Friday.
Shut up, Brad! I'm trying to speak. My turn. You son of a bitch. This has with a legitimate wax seal that is a heart. Look at that. That's amazing.
Oh,
with a heart.
That's so sweet.
I know.
This probably has poison in it.
Yeah, it probably does. I'm probably dead now. Let's see here. The letter says, "Hi, kids. Hi, kids. I've been wondering how I was going to top last week's Suspicious Package. It had to be a budget-friendly, yet hilarious, utterly hilarious at the same time. And then Brad unwittingly gave me an idea. I listened to the podcast of 531, and Brad mentioned syphilis twice. Syphilis of all things. So, everyone can enjoy syphilis. Oh, don't forget the poop. Ron might want to see it first. Wow. Just saying. Love, Casey, the pickled squirrel."
Sorry, that's the only music I had. Sorry, letter reading music.
That is. Maybe I should just from here on out read them like a.
Hey.
Hang on. Hi, kids. That's not good. No,
that's a little weird.
That's a little weird.
Just
saying it like that.
Yeah,
it's a little
strange. But now that we have it on tape,
yeah. Now I'm gonna.
We can blackmail you, and you'll have to send us something. Otherwise, we send that to everybody in your contact list.
Black mirror. Why gotta be black?
Okay.
So inside are some plastic bags here, and it looks to me like we have. Look at a pink snake.
Sorry, hang on.
Pink snake, which is furry, a pink furry snake, and also look at this. This is for Ron, definitely for Ron. It is poop.
Wait a minute. This is syphilis. That's like a giant grown-up syphilis thingy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It doesn't look familiar to you?
It looked like a snake.
Hey-oh. It does look like a.
Oh God!
It's like it's a streptococcus or whatever that's called.
And also
a different.
A poop with eyes.
So
a poop with eyes.
See?
That is happening right now in the studio. We have syphilis and poop in the studio.
So we've actually upgraded our accommodations, is what you're saying. See, you got the monkey and the poop and the syphilis.
It's all coming together.
It truly is. This is how it ends. This is how it ends. Two fish.
This is Stevia Select from Kentucky.
Me, say it one more time.
Stevia Select.
Oh,
from Kentucky.
I want to tell you what I thought you said.
What did you say?
I don't know. It was
no.
This is how it ends.
So let me go ahead and open this package here.
That's a good idea.
It's a big package. Let me go ahead and open it. Okay, so I feel so like scared reaching in sometimes, but I am
How do
elbow
you
deep.
feel about your mother?
All right, so we've got what looks like 2 spray bottles here.
One of them is the blue pill, Neo. One of them is the red pill. Spritz yourself with one of them.
No, they look like droppers. Yep, they're droppers.
What is it? What is it?
It looks. I think it's.
Is it drugs? Is it drugs?
Yeah, I think it is drugs. Actually, we have Healthy Meets Tasty, Premium Coconut Stevia, for you, Brad.
Oh, I like that. I like coconut. I like stevia.
That is Brad and Ron, who both love. We all love coconut, but Brad loves stevia.
I was gonna say. Well, it's.
Do you need your cheaters?
I do. These are sunglasses. Ranger just handed me sunglasses to read them. Holy crap! You can't see a damn thing with those. They're sunglasses. It's darker in here. Here, let me. Aha! I see. This is Healthy Meets Tasty.
Yeah.
This is Premium Coconut Stevia.
That's right.
Aha!
That's right.
Why didn't you tell me?
So, in order to hear things, Brad needs to put on his glasses. Brad, I have good news. You don't just get one bottle. You get 2 bottles.
Everybody love the coconut.
Exactly.
Unless you're getting popped in a coconut by seagulls. See?
So that would actually conclude Suspicious Package Friday. Let me go ahead and...
We didn't die.
Huh?
We're about to get a phone call from somebody who wants to promo their show for Sunday night.
All right, we're standing by for the phone to ring here in the studio at Mojo 50 on the
We're just going to wait.
Beautiful Mojo River as the sun rises over Haltom City. It's going to be about 92 degrees today. We're going to look at the traffic and the weather together here in just a minute. But we're going to answer the telephone. We're going to live studio telephone line. And hi, who's this?
This is Whiskey 6. Good morning, sirs. How are you
We've
today?
tasted your sauce before, Whiskey, and quite frankly, it's awesome.
Oh, it makes a guy happy when another man has this sauce in his mouth.
Just needs to be
It's so
thicker.
special.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, I just wanted to real quick let everyone know not to forget Off Track Theater is going into episode 3 this weekend. We're going to get a good update on Lusty Jill Hole and where she's been. Or where she might not be, for that fact.
Wait a minute. That seems like it might be confusing where she is or where she isn't.
That's right. You'll never know until you listen to Off Track Theater and the Whiskey 6 Gang.
Which, by the way, awesome show. It's on every Sunday night. What time Central versus Eastern?
8 p.m. Eastern.
That'd be Central
8 p.m.
Time,
Eastern.
7 Central Time. Who invented time zones? They should be shot, killed, and buried.
That's what I say.
Sure.
Them and
Absolutely.
probably the same idiot who decided not to go with the metric system.
Who did that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Whose idea was that?
Right. So for those of you not familiar with Off Track with Whiskey 6, it is give us your elevator pitch of the show, Whiskey.
Oh, wow. I don't have an elevator pitch of it, but basically it's a bunch of jackals that got together, and we sit down, talk to other jackals. We interview some show hosts. As a matter of fact, this weekend we have the emotional meatball, one Rocky Stucci, on with us this weekend, and he's actually part of
The emotional meatball.
of our skit this weekend.
See, that right there would be your elevator pitch. So you do in fact have one.
Oh, I might. I'll just make something up.
So Rocky's going to be on the program this week, huh?
He is. We're looking forward to it. We're going to bust his balls, and I'm sure there will not be a quiet moment for 2 hours.
So keeping up the tradition, that's good. That is good.
Absolutely. We do what we can do to just do the blah, blah, blah.
Well, let me tell you this. I can guarantee you Doc would be proud. I know that for a fact.
I surely hope so. That makes the guy feel good, and my crew does an awesome job. I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, you could. It just wouldn't be entertaining if you did it without them. That's the difference.
Absolutely. And, of course, we've joined forces with Rule Number 5, Jack Hole. He's helped us out a lot with our production and everything, and everyone's doing a fabulous job.
Incredible. Good job. Love it. Again, it's the Off Track with Whiskey 6, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, and 5 o'clock Pacific.
It's a show for attractive, intelligent.
Yes.
And
but we're hot. We're not attractive. We're hot.
And higher class, I would say. High class people watch that show.
Baby.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, buddy. What'd you say, Raider?
He just needs to make sure he wears pants.
Yeah, you just have to make sure you wear pants. That's all. That's the only.
No, difference. Just socks. Socks are the only thing required on Off Track.
Which, by the way, I bought the sock scoop thingy. What's it called? The
soft.
Yeah, the sock. The thing. The thing on TV. You put your
sock slider.
That's it. I have one. I'm trying it out this weekend.
Every real man needs a sock slider. That's a euphemism, of course.
Oh, yes. But I was going to say...
I'm not kidding. When you first said that, I was like, what?
I'm thinking the sock slider will make you lazy.
Yeah, because I
just don't know why
you can use it to take them off, too.
Morally.
Right?
Yes. And I don't know why it has a handle on it. I mean, you don't have to reach that
Brad
far.
has been complaining about having to bend over lately a lot, you know? So,
Brad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll be your big spoon.
You work in this business long enough, and you will find you've gotten very good at bending over. I mean, you can touch your toes. Ron was amazed that I could touch the ground with my palms, and it's like, well, Ron, you obviously have not been in the business long enough to have known.
Let's leave
to be an expert at bending over.
Terrestrial radio.
Yeah,
it's because Brad has been really practicing his twerking.
Yes.
He doesn't just do like the crouch and pop thing, you know. He gets down on all fours and like really just goes into it.
You know what? Either you go big or you go home.
You're definitely going big, buddy.
You do, yes, I know. It's
well, you got to get big, go big, and then go home.
Yeah, no, there's that. All right, buddy. Whiskey 6 again. The Off Track with Whiskey 6, 8 o'clock Eastern on Mojo 50, right here where you've got your radio dial tuned to.
Fabulous weekend.
You too, my friend.
You too, buddy.
Be good. All right. Call back when you can't talk longer. It'd be great to hear you. Wow, we're almost at the end of the program.
It's almost like I'm gonna have
Ron,
to.
can we buy another hour? Is there enough time? Can we? Is there like? Where's
I'll let
the
you
meter?
take it up with Jen Torres.
Where's the meat? Do you have any quarters? Or dimes? This ain't take dimes.
That you can give to Jen Torres?
Somebody go back to town.
Are you
and
offering
get a
Jen
shitload
Torres
of dimes.
money for an hour of her time?
Believe me, it's a whole lot more than that for an hour of her time. What? She's a consultant. I don't know what you're talking
she's
about.
not. Yeah, she's expensive.
Wow. I had no.
Raider, how dare you insinuate Jen Torres is a prostitute?
You are saved by the horn, unlike some other people. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. As always, before we go, let's find out what we learned today. Josh. Well, the music kind of went way away, didn't it?
I can still hear
I feel
it.
like I'm shouting all of a
It's,
sudden. It's way down in there. We learned, first of all, Josh Kemp is obviously a member of the Communist Party.
Yep.
We learned that Cuba Gooding Jr. is a threat to society. You have to go back and listen to hour 2 for that one, and say the first one was an hour 1 reference. So if you're listening to the program in reverse, wait until you get to that part. And finally, we learned that it had something to do with monkey love, but I didn't fully develop the thought.
I like the fact that you put some effort into it.
I did. I just gave up halfway. I thought, what's the point? If this is how it ends, this is how it ends.
Your nihilism is inspiring.
It is, whatever.
You know what I learned today, Brad?
I have no idea.
I learned that there has never been a female lead in a movie ever.
Not ever. It's amazing. Every movie ever made since the beginning of time has been men.
Exactly.
Men and nothing but.
That's right.
Rader's trying to sneak out of the studio right now, and I don't know
Where
really
you
why.
going? Where you going?
You're going to sit here and be humiliated with the rest of us,
That's
pal.
right, Raider.
Speaking of humiliation, Handy J is walking in.
He's going to hit you really hard. I also learned that, you know what? I hate Travis Watkins. I'm kidding. I love you, dude.
And I gave up on the last one of mine?
Yeah, I was going through. I was trying to
Wow.
figure out a clever way to say that Travis Watkins is probably
Put a little effort into it.
the greatest asshole on the planet, you know, but I respect it a little bit. But I wasn't able to get it out cleverly, so I just went with I hate Travis Watkins.
It's unusual, isn't it?
That is the conclusion of a defeated man.
And, I got a picture of trucks in the parking lot. Yes. My answer to that question is yes.
You know what else, guys?
Yes.
The bell count for today's show: 7 missed innuendo bells, 25 actual bells, 7 rim shots, and 2 horns. Peace out. Y'all have a great weekend.
You too, Leprechaun. Thank you so much.
Believe
for your
me, he
contribution.
appreciates you being here because all this week I have screwed that up.
Oh, really?
Yes. All this week.
It takes a good timing, and you got to
special
be
touch.
attentive to the board because,
Soft
man, when that
hands.
bell goes off.
Soft hands.
That's
you need
right.
Soft hands.
Don Cheech says the phrase fanny pack describes how you steal at the nudist colony. Think about it.
Yes, I.
Well played. Well played. Jaded Jackhole Poltitsky said, if people in general weren't assholes, the rule committee would have put a don't be a jerk at the top of the list and in the rules for life.
Right. The Poltitsky twins, I miss them.
That's right.
A lot.
A
lot.
I did. I don't know who they are, but I'm just going to say.
Wow. You don't know the Poltitsky twins?
They're cousins. They're cousins.
Whatever. They sound like twins to me. I think that they're just amazing.
McClub Floofnoots said, so Mojo 50 now had syphilis and poop in the studio. Did they relocate to San Francisco?
Hell!
Hell!
That's called a Friday at my house, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, Brad. that's
Later,
right.
I'd ask you, but hey, we're out of time. We'll get to the new numbers on procrastination as soon as Doc returns from his Florida vacation. In the meantime, your Daily Mojos are on Phillips, Guy Behind the Glass sometimes, and sometimes Handy J Production. It just depends on who's not paying attention. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules. You get a shot of being right, being happy. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are!
Look at that. We have a second to spare. Can we sure we can't buy another hour? I got dimes.